All right. So, yeah, here I am, 15 minutes late. All right. Let me evaluate here. So I get up at 3:30, take a bath, you know, wash myself, and read. And I do some reading um, in the bathtub. That's yeah. I used to. I'm bringing that back. I used to. I used to do that. It's like, oh my god, it's in the old East Atlanta or whatever. You get these little apartments, and they had these big iron clawfoot bathtubs. You just fill it up, and I think those apartments, had boilers or something because the water was hot, 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 and you draw a hot bath, you lie down in the bath and soak, you know, and read a book. And what I would do is I would turn on the the pure hot water just as a drip. So you get in the bathtub and it's almost like a sauna thing. It's like you get it as hot as you can take it, right? You get into it and you crack open your book, but then you turn on this drip of the scalding, just drip, 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 and gradually as you're lying there, the water gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and you get out, you're just like lobster. But yeah, it was a way of, and this is a hyperactive thing. It's like I'm too hyper to just soak in the bathtub, right? So I've got to be reading, right? Otherwise, I'll go nuts. I'm losing all this time, you know. So yeah, and I've said on the this show, that I'm trying to. I've been observing for a couple of years in elementary school now, teaching, which I quit doing. But yeah, kids that are classified as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and I'm not fighting it anymore. I don't think it's a disorder. I think society is disordered. Right? So I'm just being myself. Well, in any event, my idea, my schedule, and I'm working through this in my mind. My schedule was that I would get on at 4:30, but this morning, um, I think was a really good example. I only failed to do one thing, which I think to start the water. I purify water. I run a distiller every morning, and I store some purified distilled water. So we always have plenty of it. We're never in a situation where we're forced to drink from the tap or fountain or something. But the pollen's coming. The pollen's here, actually. But um, I'm struggling with this internal battle. So if I I started the laundry, picked up some of the dishes, read, took a bath, um, and still, and then did my audio testing here. I came on, did my audio testing here, made sure the audio was right and working, and then it was like 5:01, and still, I wasn't ready at 5:01 to go into which is I want to work towards that goal, being ready to just blast in and play full time. All right. So I may change the schedule to 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and the baby now is starting to get up at 8:30. So I don't know. I'm struggling with it in my mind. I want to get up at 2:30 in the morning. My God. All right, but we're gonna stream. That's what we're gonna do. Scream it and stream it. All right. So let's get a little um, a Japanese robot combat mayhem going. Alright, so let's go. This big, giant battle place is, I don't know, moves kind of slow. Guess it would move fast if I rushed down into the middle of the mayhem in this very center and got every mag destroyed in every match. Could do. I'm not sure where I'm landing here. Oh, we're in this place. Oh. Adjust. Yeah. Better back up, Mr. Imperviosity. It's no entry. I know this guy. Hey, buddy. Good. Thanks, no entry. Awesome. Tanzania. Everybody knows now. No entry again. And we gotta stop meeting like this. Bombay Thunder. Oh, we ain't gonna fight Bombay Thunder. Okay, let's go do exactly the same thing that we did before. Pennsylvania. Bombay Thunder. Do not want to go. Alright, Overlander, thank you. You're gonna know each other better. Get out of the way, You know, sometimes you just gotta take that swig of your coffee, and by the time you put the coffee cup down, you're dead. It's okay. Take another swallow in your hanger and jump back in. Just all. See, I can't move my mouse. I really think oh, it's Moth to Flame. Good morning, Moth to Flame. Here comes War Boy. Is that all you ever think about? Okay, 7 to 6. That's close. How did that happen? Yeah, I guess I do hope that I'll practice and I'll get better. Look how my mouse is working. Oh, good. Okay, they're all over there. So I'm over here. Dum, dum, dum. Scone. What's up, bro? Nothing like a relaxing morning. Okay, here comes something. Oh, he's going that way. Oh no. Jodorowsky. Here he comes again. Really sure you want to jump out here. 2 Aries. Shields up. She's not coming back. She's like, I've had it with you. Alright. La 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 la. 10 to 7. Yeah, that's even better. She's a lady. Jodorowsky. Gotta work on that aim, buddy. Maybe that's the problem. You're playing on a smartphone or something. It's hard. I've never actually really played on a smartphone, but a kid told me it was hard. Take him out, Solid State. 2 long arms? Oh, joyous. Who is this? 3-finger Brunson. What a hell. Alright, Bulbasaur, you know what you're about. Come on ahead. Vandalele. Barbara Rain, take my hand. She's down there kicking, isn't she? Wow. Wow. It's tough to be right down there, you know, because that's where they spawn. I mean, where they beam down. There you go. Grammar Pope, what are you doing? Pay attention. This guy's moving all the time. Yeah. Ouch. Hey, I was out of the thrust. Very cool. Tom Cruise, man, what's up? Can I have your autograph? Such a pleasure. You see all those missiles coming at you and then they blow up and they don't come in. Oh, man, just in time. Stop! Sounds like... I don't know what those things are. Are you gonna kill me? Yeah, my shield's gone. There's your shield. Pop. Oh. Come on, Power Shot. Don't you want to step on there? Sweet as top ever. Oh my goodness. I haven't lost a single match this morning. Shaka Khan and Barbara Ann. Wow. All the girls. And here come practicing more. Man, that's great. The guys are practicing more. I got no competition. Hey, baby. Can you take my hand over here, Barbara Ann? And Shaka Khan, let me tell you what I want to do. Wanna love you, wanna hug you, squeeze you too. Oh no, dirt hard pack. And power shower is probably competition. Can you get out of the way? Yeah, thank you. Step aside. Get on. Hey, you're blocking me. Two Arachnos. I don't like that. Almost down there. Go ahead, Barbara Ann. Yeah. That was too bad. I wish I had one of those fast reload my magazine implant thing stuff. Win 4 battles in a row, play 9. What? Alright, it's fine. We're casting off, you weird one. Hoist the mainsail. Snap 2. Yes, master. Step lively, you baboons. Lower the jib, batten the hatches. You fall when you're moving too slowly. Cannot. Yes, master. Heartily on the starboard bow, you two-headed. Yo, two-headed one, you stumble against me, you Schweinhund. Pa 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 pa. It's brutal. Barbara Ann, you like that? Oh, wait a second. Somebody chatting. Hola, hola. Lo siento. ¿Cómo está? Okay, that time I noticed, yeah, the chat notification. Yeah, this guy's here to kill me here. It's gonna be the first mech I lost this morning. Help. Bad take haver, too. I know this guy. Man, I'm on a streak, bad take haver. Give me a break. I'm trying to get my coins, bro. You knocked off most of my hit points. Come on. Yeah, good. Thank you. Practicing, huh? I always knew practicing months were good for something. I'm really in trouble. Half my hit points are gone. And we're losing. Oh, it's totally rad. You're like, you gotta feel me. God, I want you to. What's that? It's Spoonbender. Spoonbender. Leave me alone. Go away. Spoonbender. I'm having a bad time, man. Stop. And RPGs, no less. That's the last thing I need. Shit. Well, my mech wasn't destroyed, so at least there's that. I think that's the first round we lost. So far this morning, like in half an hour, yeah. But it's probably these guys. Oh, it's Sasquatch. No damage. No, it's Sasquatch. Things all here. Oh, that's a clear bad reaction. Oh, bad reaction. Will you stop squirreling and squirrel scampering like that? Scamper, bang. Because I just got my sight like right on that spot. And I see something moving there and pop it. Oh, crap. Are you sure you want to come over here? Goodbye. It's bad take cover. Was bad take cover. Goodbye. Wishful thinking. Do that quick. It's empty, dude. Think about there again. Yeah. Thank you, Beyond Assault. I appreciate you. Don't get frustrated, guys. Just keep practicing something. And if you're doing something and you're dying every time, stop doing that. Do something different. That's what I do. I'm also looking, you know, like I like that the blue, the wide shield indicator, level indicator, is blue and white, because I can, you know, when a guy puts a thermal lance on you, you can see it's not doing anything to your shield, you know, or it's very coming down really slow, and that's the time when I just sort of, I don't know, I'm ambivalent about it. Should I try to avoid that? Why am I okay? So, well, I guess one of the things is the reason why I stopped moving and let him gradually burn down my thermal lance is because when he's using that thermal lance, I can see exactly where he is. That you just line up your gun with the thermal lance beam. That's all you have to do. And hold steady. Good, John. Was that Barbara Ann? Or what, did she get killed? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's a stupid thing, majigger. Yeah, do that little dance. I like that. Dance. Oh. Okay. Spoonbender killed 3 times. My goodness. Sorry, guys. Please don't be mad. I have been practicing. Yeah, and I advocate for practice. If you really stink, practice, and you got to practice. You know, cool, calm, collected. Just go and practice. And I have a theory that you get better. Yeah. Time to check out this car. There, that got this jump going. Now, bank-haired one, what were you saying about my type of woman? Me? Say something? I didn't say nothing. You hear me say something? Teddy said something, not me. Everybody's trying to get away. She's hot. The dragging lady. Drags you. She keel hauls you. Somebody take that guy and keel haul him. Saw the action. Rochambeau's in there. God, Anita. And Hot Nelly, man, all these hot girls. I always think of Hot Nelly, or Nelly from Little House on the Prairie. She was cute. She's smarter than that. Oh, at Sweet Temptation, I want to go for the action. I should stay right here. Y'all need to take some of them guys down, man. More faster, please. I'm probably gonna kill going down here. Stupid. Okay, there it comes. Yeah, there you go. That's what I want. Cock pistol is it? That was tough. Tell me, all that combat down there and nobody was wrong with it. Good for you. Now, yell at her. Tell me about dark-haired one, Pat O'Brien. Why do you interrupt, pointy-headed one? Master, help! A strange craft is bearing down upon us. I know what that craft is. It is a band of hijackers. Oh, I guess I'll give those up. Fast pace. Can you pace over here really fast? Won't take long. They're really sticking in there. Okay, I'm gonna have to run here in a minute. Oh, I don't want to come down. You know, 'cause yeah, this is a situation. Flank city. RPGs too. Oh, it's hard. Oh, it's some kind of shield. Oh, wasting my stuff. Let's just reload. Oh, and you wanna... Okay, you're annoying. Dum dum dum. No hard feels. That's alright, I don't feel hard. I'm just a huggy wuggy. Cuddly cuddly. Can you put that ice ray on somebody else? I don't know what that was. What has this guy got? Swerve! Oh man, Swerve, come over here. Ow, RPG. Ouch. We still won. Haven't lost a mech yet. Maybe I'm getting better. Hopefully. Out of tickets. Okay, good. Had just about enough. Ooh. Did all these things and 4,000 problems. Play 9 battles. Win 8 battles. I don't know. I know that craft is meant of Hydra. Here, you want to bring her one. Take these cutlasses. We'll protect your dragon lady. All hands and feet on deck. Stand by to repel boarders. We'll fight them on the land, in the air. Right, dragon lady. Oh, who's with me? It's Golly Gal here. It's Go-Go Girl. The Alley Bay. Nollywood. Sasquatch. Oh. I hate that. There, I got it. I'm gonna work on this. Good. That's better. A little bit of improvement. Got to resist the temptation to follow him with the scamper thing. Good. Long distance. Long distance information. Give me Macarena, please. Good job, guys. Thanks. Butter golem. Ouch. That's a pretty hefty little RPG there you got, buddy. Thank you. Get away. Great bait. Here he comes. Can you believe it? Watch out for that one, dragging lady. Crash, clash, slash, slash, slash. We'll fight them on the beach until we're completely exhausted. All the time we'll fight. Right, dragon lady. Get that one, dragon lady. Oh, sorry. I was there looking at dragging lady. I'm a man, she's a woman. Frederick, I think I haven't seen you in ages, man. How you doing? Thumper. Are you the wares guy, Thumper? 0-day wares, Thumper. Frederica Fig, we meet again. He's seeing my name. I remember that guy. I hope it's good memories. An atheist pop. Nothing like a good atheist pop in the morning. Oops. Ouch. Alright. Just moving nice and slow. I like that. Rocker. Thumper? What's on your mind, dudes? I don't know. I think you ought to be hitting me. Trying to hit me. Not just... I'll just stroll on by and hope he's distracted. I ain't got nothing to do but shoot at you guys right up here. Are you kidding me? Distracted by what? You're like center of my... That was bold. Well, it's Schwab. Get out of the way. Let Schwab take those shells. Oh, that's not love. Just stand right there, man. Dang it. Why you want to move? I'm trying to shoot you. Need my coins. There you go. He's done. Man, I can't believe he's gonna get those dying brother coins. He's still alive, man. Wow. No, he's dead. Dead. Ow! Man, that sucks. No! This cash out guy's got a mortar, man. Back up. Get under shelter. Oh, how did he get over there? Orlando Sucks is over here. Okay, come on. Come on, guys. Yeah, that is him, because I saw that mortar missile rack or something. What is this guy? I didn't get on the wall. We'll fight them till every last drop of our blood is spilt. Until we are completely dead and hackable in pieces. Long train lady. Hep, 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 hep. Oh, there's actually pirates. She stabs everyone. Remember the words of our immortal Pat O'Brien. Nothing must stop us from carrying out our assignment. Our assignment to find the inside man. Bye. Look, we got some pirates at last. Who's in here with me? Brief Blast Body, Psych Out, Schwa, and This America. What is your name, mate? Where? This is America? What is America? Your mech? Well, it's not my America. Time and a place for everything. Israeli computer games, America. God, I love you guys. Q-Tip, not you too. Too Q-Tip. What in the world? Come on, Q-Tip. You're not gonna stand there all day, are you? Thank you, there. I was getting bored. try to get better about not wasting shells. You're gonna miss. If I have that moment to ask myself, am I gonna hit this guy or am I gonna miss? I think I'm gonna miss. I'm not gonna shoot. Oh, Q-tip is behind something, and my mouse button did not work. I would have wasted that shell. There's that, somehow you can go behind there. You're like behind that hill. But stupid indicator indicates you're there. Even though there's a mountain in between you and the, yeah. Look at us that. Sparkle. The sparkling showers of your magma slag. I need to hit this V. Oh, God. That, yeah, I'm lost, man. Alright, V. Oh, I'm scared. Please. Have mercy. I'm about to die. I'm being a wise guy. Somebody kill him. Yeah, that's it. Take him down. Yeah. Good. Thank you. I didn't even turn around to see who that was, but I do appreciate it. I was being I deserve to die, man. I'm lucky to be alive. I really am dead. As soon as somebody penetrates this shield, I'm out. And I don't think I've lost a single mech this morning. Hour and 6 minutes. It's pretty good. Come close a couple times. Gotta go back and see the replay. There's my shield. Okay, good. Ow! Sorry, there's my, As soon as I get hit. Oh, we're losing. I'm busy up here. Yeah. Turkeys. Haha. Still got him. 5 of you guys. Look at this pirate down here. The one here. With the monocle. Is that what that is? I read some of these. Well, I don't know. It's pretty boring. It's like a comics to make people think that they know about, the Orient or something. Billy Rack's only open source Pumpkin Ruby. Okay. Good. I know most of all these guys. Old buddy, pal, friend. Add me on your friends list. And thanks. Both of them. Who's targeting me? Shoot. Darn. Okay, thank you. Pumpkin, sweetie kitty. Oh. Onslaught. Dang. Wow. Push that. Man, they're creaming us. What are you guys doing over there? Having a cigarette break? I don't care. What? You think I care? Get off me with that. Thermal lance. Give me all this attitude. I'll stay on this team. See if I can get creamed a couple more times. Maybe I'll get the got creamed coins or something. I can't believe these guys beat us. Man, what are you guys doing? They must have. Hola. Love you. Man, I need to get my level out here so people can see. Yes, yeah. Clouded Crane. Okay, this is in there. Clouded Crane's pretty good, I think. I remember correctly. Clouded Crane has weaponized numerous times. Okay, Schwa, I don't know. Schwa. May need to practice. But it's good you're here. Oh, Schwa, buddy, Schwa, hey, Schwa. What's going on, Schwa? How you doing, Schwa? Schwa, they're going to shoot at you over here, Schwa. Be careful, Schwa. See, that's Clouded Crane. Pretty. Oh, there comes Clouded Crane. Nice guy. Stop. Come on. Yeah, come over here. That's what I needed. To have my shield knocked out by somebody who was going away. Oh no. Oh, good. Okay, good. Put that shield up. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget, if I'm on a kill shot, to not hit the space bar to put the shield up. It's becoming too automated. I was doing that. Did it several times where, you know, you're in a death match, and if you go to the center of a, not a death match, but a free-for-all, a free-for-all death match. And if you shoot to the center of an arena, everybody in the whole place wants to shoot you. It's the worst thing you can do. So do not hit your space bar on a kill shot, thinking that you're in an Ares when you're not, because it'll drop you right into the very center of doom. Oh no. And I'm really, what is this guy? Yeah, go ahead. Go away. My shield's down. He like stumbled over there or something. Whoa, it's quite a cream. And I don't know why, but let's see, my gun was stuck there. Hold on. I don't know why, but I always think Claudia Cream is a cool. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her birds and worms. Along came Arachnos, a hideous phantasmos, and terrorized her all the rest of the day. Help, help, help. Claudia Crane, what's going on? It seems like you were tearing me up a little bit better before. Yeah, and see, Claudia Cream is on the board. Schwab, congratulations. Because I had it not the most favorable. Continue. Alright. Well, here we are, about to walk away off the hijacker's ship. But before I go, there's something I must know, something I've got to know before my soul is ever to rest in peace. Somehow I feel like I missed a page. Let's see. I've got to know the answer to 2 questions. Who is the inside man we're looking for? Second, why do they call you Teddy and the Pirates? Cash out. Somebody was shooting over here. But missing. Yeah, that's not where I am. Ballroom bits. That's showing your age too. Because Ballroom Blitz is like an old song. It's like a disco era song. I do not like this, buddy. I sure don't. Kill that guy. Now we're in trouble. Go get that damn control point back. Good. Somebody got it back. hate going over here. Sure do. Oh, see? Wow. The dang beam, you can't see. Ouch. Somebody's coming through. I don't like this. Sean, how were you on stealth mode? Is that what I didn't see? Okay. I don't know. Well, it could have been that I was not looking at the map. I can't go watch on the replay and see these stupid comments, right? And whoever's watching, it's like obvious you weren't looking. I saw it. He was going by on the map right there. I wasn't looking at it. Humility is the beginning of wisdom. They poke him in some kind of sharp sword. Curious. Dolutwet. I'm so happy to see Dolutwet on the opposing team. Make short work of it. Up. That's all I need. RPGs. Dang it. Bad shot. Decent shot. Oh, that was too close to a miss for comfort. As far as I'm concerned. No need to waste a shell there. Zap. Bad shot. Ouch! Who is that? Man, what the? I don't know. Man, I just sound like a... Okay. Of course you know this means war. And I couldn't even... I was so... shocked. I don't care. I don't care. Come on. Come on. Go ahead and kill me. Go ahead and kill me. coming right back. Somebody take this guy out. Dun, 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 dun. How did I gotta do that? Oh, I can't move pretty quick. That's alright. It's exhilarating. Good. Dang it. Nope. Almost. Where's my mic? Oh, what do you want? Man, I was mockery of Dull You Twit, right? Because yeah, you're having a good day, boy. I've nuclearized you before. I remember. So yeah, touche. Popped me inside the head a few times. That's what people need, man. Humility is the beginning of wisdom. They need to get a good couple of smackdowns, wake them up. Dull you twit. There's one guy on the other side. I hope he can keep those guys pinned down because they're going to come around my behind. Certainly are. Took out his shield. Good. Yeah, that wide shield, you can take it down, I think. Sometimes I'm confused about it. It seems like I'm not taking it down just by, you know, I read that you can shoot at the shield itself and bring it down. So it's when it's hanging out, you know, pop it. And that way when you get a chance to fire off a shot, he's got the shield up. I really don't. Oh, there we go. Good to see you there, buddy. I want you guys closing in on me like this, man. I'm getting claustrophobia. I'm claustrophobia-nized. -4. Gorgeous owl. -3, what's up? -3. Nah, 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 nah. Miss me. Man, this is on me. I don't want you on this. I need to get out from in front of your thermal lamps, if you don't know. God dang it. That is so annoying. Bad playing on that part. I need improvement. Let me stretch my fingers a little bit. My hands should not be tensing up. Doesn't help. Actually, it hurts. There. Okay. Maybe. Yeah, and don't get too arrogant. Maybe it's just lucky. There's that little dance. Stupid dance, right? But that's not helping you. You're losing your... It's like they're like, I'll just move around and that'll make me hard to hit. Well, did you ever think that somebody could just not move and keep the sight in one spot, and then if you run in a circle, you're going to run in front of the sight several times? Enough to lose all your hit points. Stop doing that, guys. Maybe it works. It doesn't work with me. I'm going to make it work less. I now know who the inside man of the Opium Hijackers is. And I know why they call him Teddy and the Pirates. His ass is coming into the sharks. Okay. Well, okay. Where am I? I'm a hallucinatory. Okay. Maybe I'll just relax here for a few minutes. Well, somebody's over there. Maybe I'll do something different. I don't know. Wait a minute. Oh, what's that? I am Marsupial. Not a bot. Who am I with? On the beach now. Okay, I'm going over here. On the beach now, it's getting this magazine emptied. He needs some backup. You guys want some battle flavors? Strawberry long arm. I love it when I'm missing him and he's missing me. We're both empty in our magazine. Come on, stop. Okay. Stop being silly, Dad. I would have liked to hit W to it. It's so temptational. Come on, W to it. My magazines are empty. He's reincarnation already. Oh, we're already up here close to where they materialize. Oops. That was dumb. See, don't focus on people. It's a bad idea. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit, if you know what I mean. Ouch. How did all these guys get over here? I'm gonna die. Help, 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 help. See, but I shouldn't have, you know, I was messing around and doing dumb stuff. Oh, we're really getting clobbered. I guess, ouch. I did the same thing. Gotta put my shield up. And I'm out of range to even hit one of them, so I just zap right up. Right at, yeah. Too close to get a lock for the javelin. There needs to be like this moment where this is not an Ares. This is not an Ares. Don't hit the space bar. Unless you want to do a kill shot dash, melee dash, or whatever it's called. Oh, yeah, I like these. Wicked sick. Vino Veritas. True wine. Truly wine. It's just brown. This is a girl, and maybe a Brit or Australian girl. Thank you. She was really getting on my nerves. Yeah. My long arm shell is all yours. Here, have another one. Saving them for you. Yep, that's right. All three of those. Gratis. Dang right. It's all yours. That's pissed now. How many licks does it take to get to the chocolatey center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop? Ouch. You know, I'm not in the mood. Come on, you guys. Carry your weight. Wicked Sick, I haven't seen the whole thing. Oh, boy. Oh, thank you. It's McLarge Huge. I didn't even know you were on the team. Ouch. Help. I'm gonna die. Somebody give me a heal. Help. Oh no. Here he comes. He's pissed. Oh, seeing somebody flank me. Shield was no good. Okay, I'm coming back. You just wait. Okay, let's. I got a kill shot, so don't hit the space bar unless that's what you want to do. Got a lock. Good. We're being defeated. I was making a mockery of Vino Veritas, but Vino Veritas got MVP. Although I don't quite know how, with only one kill. Natalie's half shot, and I want you to meet some more buddies that sail the China Seas with me. I want you to meet the pirates. So the pirate showed up at the last minute, and he's one of them. Melvin of the Apes. Columbo, McLarge Huge. Okay. Columbo. That does not bode well. When you see them doing that circle, it's like a ritual of dumb. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do it in front of me. Eva. Help. Eva's pretty good. If I remember correctly. Good enough that people make name fan of Eva. Saw that. That was enjoyable. I was like, don't tell me I'm gonna have to sit out a whole match and taunt 434 and not be able to pop him one time. Thanks, Tonk. No need to waste a shell there. Almost got we got taunt twice. Hey McLarge, what's going on? Bro. Man, Blue Steel. I don't really know you right. Blue Steel is such a oh. I don't understand. Yes, yeah, 132. Oh, so. That little chime. Yeah. I gotta remember that little chime. I'm gonna start tracing around place. Okay. No, I know these guys. Old Macarena, buddy, old Macarena pal. Need some screaming Japanese peasants to run around. Help! I didn't know what I'm doing. All coming up the middle, guys. Tear them up. Okay, now they're breaking up. It's Smash Lapjaw. I wanted him to friend me. Ouch. It's like 3 juggernauts. No, a guardian and 2 juggernauts. Something blank. Oh. On the beach now. That's where you're about to be, on the beach. Your fragmentation shrapnels will be scattered all across the blazing sands. Egad long grain rice burros. Can't let him actually sideball can't bracket book them all. Okay. I know you guys. Oh, buddy old pal. Friend. Colombo, Bluestill. That's why I'm not sure you want to do that. Come on and fight like a man. We stick that out there one more time, man. Throw it. I'm telling you. Just a word of warning. Sideball cat. Awesome, dude. Thanks. Take down that wide shield. That's what I was trying to do. Then whoever's over there can finish the job. Oh. Scratch my nose. Have some tasty boogers. Yeah, it does take the shield off. And I don't think everybody knows that, because they don't. I don't often see when I get behind like a telephone pole. I mean, if people were smart, if they had read the thing about the shield, they would pop down my shield every time. You know, when I'm standing behind like a telephone pole, they stop shooting at me, which indicates to me that they don't know that they can hit my shield. And then when I try to pop my behind out, I have no shield. Here's Cat Lady's doing that little dance. Yeah. Don't stop doing that, guy. Look around. When you're taking the control point, you're stuck on a spot, right? You need to use that to look at the map. And try and not get hit. This whole thing of like, I'm just gonna run in a circle. Gotta keep moving. Somebody needs to get over there. Just trying. Okay, somebody's coming over to my club. My section over here. Not even on the board. Nigel. I'm glad Columbus. Sorry to say that. Columbo. Isn't it funny at Stromboli? Hello, Hat Man. Thanks. Get behind that shield. Get behind that shield. Get. Thank you. I was in need of assistance there. It's King Nigel. Man, I can't believe it. Lousy shot. Oh, brother. Don't let me get killed by Columbo. So, that would be humiliation. Ouch. That's some flank action right there. Hell. Man, guys, I'm in bad shape. I really am. Maybe I get stale. Columbo, good for you. You're the last mech standing. Proud of that. Stromboli. I was worried. I was like, I don't know, Stromboli. Yeah. He doesn't strike my memory as being very formidable, but maybe it's. Yeah, he got MVP. Good job, Stromboli. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a doddering old fool. Alright, let's see. What's Melvin of the Apes doing? Jungle Death. There's Africa. It's tangled banyan trees and creeping boombaban. But heart. Something is missing. Holly cream cheddar and Polly Shostakovich. Okay, let's win this one, guys. Come on. Win. Could have sworn that was somebody. Can't hit anybody. Policlínico. Mouse has gone out. I don't know. Okay, yeah, now it's back. Shostakovich. Oh, brother. They're coming forward here. No, they're not. Building in the way. Policlínico. Policlínico. Oh, it's a big swarm of them. Stromboli again. Stromboli been practicing. And I hope not witchcraft. Something is missing. Where is the roar of Ungani, the lion? Where is the shriek of Ungala, the cheetah? The jungle is strangely silent. What for the clumsy crashing through the treetops of Melvin of the Apes? I hope this is not going to be a really bad one. There's a real long-term phony narrative that, you know, if the white man crashed in the jungle or whatever, that he would take over because it's so more advanced, according to racial theory. Yeah. No, they die. Yeah, white people can't live there. The people that live there are adapted to the environment and they do better. The whole Tarzan bunch of crap. And they did it with girls too. All these bikini girls are running around in the jungle, white girls. It's like to entice the men. Yeah, go to the deep jungles of Angola and there's going to be bikini girls swinging through the trees. If you get in any trouble with the natives, she'll knock them off for you. Believe that, you really need to die. Be good for gene pool of the world. Go ahead. I hope I'm getting better at hitting those scamper guys. Here comes this guy. Funk. Ouch! Can somebody come over here and help me, please, before Shaka Khan take on Ozzy's? Yeah, take Shaka Khan now. I don't need that trouble. Wait, I'll do it. I didn't know she was gonna stand right there. Shaka Khan, you gotta move, girl. People are around you, and their intentions are not favorable to your continued kind of neck and neck here. Stand still. Good. can't move my mouse. It's frozen. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if I'm losing signal or what. Please don't materialize on here. I'm gonna die. Help. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. 42% of team kills, huh? Go figure. Hey Jay, look at this. We jump to next vine and use only one hand. Watch. Egad, long grain rice burros. Melvin Sever. Okay, blue guy, I don't know you. Bays. Free coffin free. Uh-oh. Well, free coffin for you. Maybe he's been practicing. Corvax. Ouch. Ouch. That's so... Good job. Oh, help. Oh. Okay, good. I'm in good shape now. Somebody take down Korvac's shield, please. This one I want. I'm missing anybody. Like no job? I didn't know you were here. Thanks, dude. Here comes Korvax. Be right back.
Wing of his army. And General Gallieni assembled all the taxicabs and trucks in a great metropolis, rushed his reserves to the front, and hurled them against the enemy forces. You saw hardly any young men in Paris during those fateful days of the Battle of the Marne. The older men, women, and children listened to the thunder of the guns that did not cease day or night. They sat upon the parapets of the river, and saw the wreckage of trees and buildings, of everything that could float, including the bodies of dead animals. Human bodies were being fished out before they got into the city. Overhead came now and then a sight of irresistible fascination, an airplane soaring, sliding out with tribunes, or possibly bringing bombs. The enemy plane was known as a Tabianite fantasy, to turn the dove of peace into a cruel instrument of slaughter. Already they had dropped explosives upon Antwerp and killed many women and children. Nevertheless, curiosity was too great, and everywhere in the open places you saw crowds gazing into the sky. The sound of the guns receded, and by this the people knew that one of the great battles of history had been fought and won. But they did not shout or celebrate. Paris knew what the victory cost, and waited for the taxicabs to bring back their loads of wounded and their news about the dead. The Germans were thrown back upon the Aisne, 30 miles farther north. So the flight of refugees from Paris to Pétain, at last it became possible for a lady of title to get to the Riviera without having to walk. With Sophie came Eddie Patterson, her amiable friend whose distinction in life was that he had chosen the right grandfather. The old gentleman had once engineered through the legislature of a state a franchise to build a railroad bridge. Now he drew a royalty from the railroad of 1 cent for every passenger who crossed the river. Eddie was an amateur billiard player with various medals and cups, and was also fond of motorboating. He talked of giving his fastest boat to the French government to be used in hunting submarines. He would soon see it cruising the Gulf one day and night with a 4-pounder gun bolted onto the bow. Eddie Patterson was a slender and rather stoop-shouldered fellow who talked hard-headedly, and had never given any indication of having a flighty mind. But now he had somehow worked himself into a furious rage against the Germans and was talking about volunteering for some kind of service. Sophie was in a panic about it, and of course appealed for the help of her friend Beauty Bunny, who agreed with her that men were crazy, and that none of them ever really appreciated a woman's love. At any hour of the day or night, Sophie and Eddie would get into an argument. LL, they talk about German atrocities is just propaganda, the Baroness would announce. Ave I been there and seen? Of course the Germans shoot civilians who fire at them from the windows of houses. And maybe they are holding the mayors of Belgian towns as hostages. But isn't that always done in wartime? Isn't it according to international law? Sophie talked as if she were a leading authority on the subject, and Eddie would answer with an impolite American word. After listening to a few such discussions, Lenny made up his mind that neither of them really knew very much about it, but were just repeating what they read in the papers. Since there were hardly any of the French and English papers to be had, a person like himself who wanted to be neutral had a hard time of it. X. What we would have to do was to keep them restless and frantic and entertained. So Lanny would be pressed into service to take Eddie Patterson's vision, or tempt him into roaming the hills to explore ancient Roman and Saracen ruins. But truly it was impossible to get away from the war anywhere in France. Once they stopped to watch the distilling of lavender, high up on a wind-swept plateau. They were odd-looking contrivances on wheels, with an iron belly full of fire, and a rounded dome on top from which ran a long spout, making them look like fantastic birds. A crew of women and older men were harvesting flames, tending fires, and collecting the essence in barrels. Pretty soon Lanny was talking with them, and they became more concerned to ask him questions than to earn their daily bread. Americans were rich and were bound to know more than poor peasants of the Midi. Pat, do you think, messers? Will less aliments be driven from our soil? And how long will it take? And what do you think the Italians will do? Surely they could not attack us, their cousins, almost their brothers. On Lanny's home Cap d'Antibes the pencil industry was growing flowers for perfumes, and in winter this is done under glass. It was estimated that there were more than 1 million glass frames upon that promontory. And naturally those people who owned them were troubled to hear about bombs being dropped from the sky, and about strange deadly craft rising from the sea and launching torpedoes. Such things sounded fabulous, but they must be real, because often you could see war vessels patrolling, and now and then a seaplane scouting, and there were notices in all public places for fishermen and others to report at once any unusual sight on the sea. Now came the flower growers, wanting to talk about less affairs. What did these foreign gentry think about the chances of enemy bombing of the Cap? What would be the effect, supposing that a stray torpedo were to hit the rocks? Would it have force enough to shatter those million glass frames? And what did it mean that people who were supposed to be civilized, who had come to the Riviera by the tens of thousands, as the Germans had so many great steamers loaded within every winter should now go away and repay their hosts in this dreadful manner? There came a letter from Mrs. Emily Chattersworth, who had fled from Les Ortiz when the Germans came near, and after the great battle had returned to see what had become of her home. Suppose I can count myself fortunate, she wrote, because only half a dozen shells struck the house, and they were not of the biggest. Apparently they didn't get their heavy guns this far, and the French retired without offering much resistance. The Uhlans came first, and they must have had an art specialist with them, because they packed up the best tapestries and most valuable pictures, and took them all. They dumped a lot of furniture out of the windows. I don't know whether that was pure vandalism or whether they were planning to build breastworks. They did use the billiard table for that purpose, setting it up on edge. It didn't work very well, for there are many bullet holes through it. They used the main rooms for surgical work, and just outside the window are piles of bloody boots and clothing cut from the wounded. They raided the cellars, of course, and the place is a litter of broken bottles. In the center of my beautiful fleur-de-lis in the front garden is a shell hole and a wrecked gun casing with pieces of human flesh still sticking to it. But what breaks my heart is the fate of my glorious forests. There was a whole German division concealed in them, and the French set fire to the woods in many places. The enemy came out fighting and were slaughtered wholesale. The woods are still burning and will never be the same in our lifetime. The stench from thousands of bodies which have not yet been found blows the air at night and is the most awful thing one can imagine. I do not know if I can ever endure to live in the place again. I can only pray that the barbarians will not have a second chance at it. The opinion of our friends here is that they are through and will be entirely out of France in another month or two. So there was more ammunition for Eddie Patterson. One by one militarists among the Americans were joining up. Some in the Foreign Legion, others in the ambulance service, many women for hospital work. The French aviation service was popular among the adventurous-minded young men, but to Sophie this was the most horrible idea of all. To those man birds who were hunting one another in the skies, and the casualties among them were appalling. In the first days, all France had been electrified by the V-1 flyer, who had driven his plane straight through the gas bag of a Zeppelin, and out at the other side. The mass of hydrogen had exploded and a huge airship had crashed, on inferno of flame. The aviator, of course, had shared its fate. Beauty Bug would fling her arms about her boy and cry, H, Lenny, don't ever let them get you into war. And then one day she received a letter which made her heart stand still. H. read, your visit shines as the most precious jewel of our memory. The news which I have to tell will make you sad, I fear, but be courageous for my sake. Your coming was the occasion of my having the opportunity to make the acquaintance of my common unit, and being able to volunteer for special service. I am being sent elsewhere to receive training, concerning which it is not permissible for me to write. For the present, you may address me in care of El Tol Sapir de Romantique et Vincennes. Our love is the sunshine of my life, and knows neither clouds nor night. I adore you. Marcel. 13. Really must be. It was going to be some time before Lanny Bud would see his father again. The warring nations would have their rations in New York for the purpose of buying military supplies. Robbie's headquarters would be there, and he would make a great deal of money. The various governments would float bonds in the United States, and persons who believed in their financial stability would buy the bonds, and the money would be spent for everything that was needed by armies. Robbie explained these matters in his letters, and said that England and France had placed enough orders with Buds to justify great enlargements of the plant. Robbie wrote cautiously, being aware that mail would be read by the French censor. Remember what I told you about your own attitude, and do not let anybody sway you from it. This is the most important thing for your life. That was enough for Lanny. He did his best to resist the tug of forces about him. Robbie sent magazines and papers with articles that would give him a balanced view. Not marking the articles that would have made it too easy for the censor, but writing him a few days later to read pages so-and-so. The thing I was wrong about, the father admitted. His war is going to last longer than I thought. When Lanny read that, the giant armies were locked in an embrace of death on the brain. The French trying to drive the Germans still farther back, the Germans trying to hold on. They fought all day, and at night food and ammunition were brought up in camions and cars, and the armies went on fighting. Battles lasted not days but weeks, and you could hardly say when one ended and the next began. The troops charged and retreated and charged again, fighting over ground already laid waste. They dug themselves in, and when rain filled up the trenches they stayed in them, because it was better to be wet than dead. It was the same on the Eastern Front also. The Russian steamroller had made some headway against the Austrians, but in East Prussia it had got stuck in the swampy lands about the Masurian lakes. The Russians had been surrounded and slaughtered wholesale. But many had got away, and fresh armies had come up and they were pushing back and forth across the border, one great battle after another. It was going to be that way for a long time, that fiercest fighting, inspired by the bitterest hatreds that Europe had known for centuries. Each nation was going to mobilize its resources from every part of the world. Resources of manpower, of money, of goods, and intellectual and moral factors. Each side was doing everything in its power to make the other odious, and neither was going to have any patience with those who were lukewarm or doubting. A mother and son from America who wanted to keep themselves neutral would be buffeted about like birds in a thunderstorm. Aye. Traveling by himself to a new post of duty, Marcel was free of censorship for a day or two. He wrote on the train and mailed in Paris an eloquent and passionate love letter, inspired by their recent day and night together. It filled Beauty with joy but also with anguish, for it told her that this treasure of her heart was going to one of the most terrible of all posts of danger. He was to receive several weeks of intensive training to enable him to act as observer in a stationary balloon. He had suggested this post as one for which his career as a painter fitted him especially. His ability to distinguish shades of color would enable him to detect camouflage. He had studied landscapes from mountain tops, and could see things that the ordinary eye would miss. Who must learn to be happy in the thought that I shall be of real use to my country, oh he wrote, and perhaps really believed it, being a man. What Beauty did was to crumple the letter in her hands, and sink down with her face upon it and wet it with her tears. After that there was little peace in her menu. Beauty went about with death written on her face. Beauty would hear her sobbing in the night, and would go to her room and try to comfort her. Who chose the Frenchman? Beauty. You can't expect him to be anything else. The boy had been reading an anthology of English poetry, which Mr. Elphinstone had left behind when he went home to try to get into the army. Being young, Lenny sought to comfort his mother with noble sentiments expressed in immortal words. Could not love thee, dear, so much, love thy not honor more. So he quoted. But it only seemed to make Beauty mad. What do you mean, Odor? It's nothing but the desire of powerful men to rule over others. It's a trick to get millions of people to follow them and die for their glory. Going about the house brooding, did Beauty Bud regret the choice she had made? If so, she didn't say it to Lenny. What she told him was that life was a thing too cruel to be endured. It could not be that there was a goal my deal was crazy. We were being mocked by some devil, or by a swarm of fiends, a separate devil in the heart of every man who sought to kill his fellows. Beauty's good friend Sophie and her young man, Eddie Patterson, rallied to her support. They brought with them an elderly retired Swiss diplomat who bore the distinguished name of Rochambeau. Having been behind the scenes of Europe most of his life, he was not to be deceived by any propaganda, and could not be offended by the anti-militarist utterances of a self-centered American lady. These four played bridge. They played with a kind of desperation, all day and most of the night, stopping only when Lee put a meal upon the table and tapped a little tune on the Chinese gongs that hung by the dining room door. They played for very small stakes, but took their game with the utmost seriousness, having their different systems of play, and discussing each hand, what they had done and whether some other way might not have been better. They never mentioned it, and they tried never to think, how men were being mangled with shot and shell while these fine points of bidding and leading and signaling were being settled. A convenient arrangement for Lanny, because it set him free to read. Also, he could play tennis with boys and girls of the nearby villas, and keep the household supplied with seafood. But he had promised not to go sailing upon the bay, because of Beauty's fear that a German submarine might rise up without warning and torpedo the pleasure boats in the Gulf One. Aye. Then he kept up a correspondence with his friend Rick, and learned once more how difficult was going to be the role of neutral in this war. Rick said that the way the Germans were behaving in Belgium deprived them of all claim to be considered as civilized men. Rick hadn't been as much impressed by Kurt's long words as had Lanny, and he said that anyhow, what was the use of fancy-sounding philosophy if you didn't make it count in everyday affairs? Rick said furthermore that from now on America's safety depended on the British fleet, and the quicker the Americans realized it, the better for them and for the world. Lanny was at a disadvantage in these arguments, because he was afraid that if he repeated what his father had told him, the censor wouldn't allow the letter to pass. So he just mentioned what he was reading, and the sights he was seeing. The French had what was called a hydro, a plane that could land upon water, and one of them, having sprung an oil leak, had come down by the Quai Antoine. Lanny had watched it being repaired, and then had seen it depart. It carried a machine gun, and Hotchkiss Lanny knew all the types of guns, as other boys knew automobiles. Rick in return told about the London buses being made over into transports for troops, and about crowds of clerks and businessmen drilling in Hyde Park, still in their civilian clothes, and with only sticks or guns. But Rick's principal interest was in the air. He wrote a lot about having met one of the flyers with whom they had talked at Salisbury Plain. This officer had fought a pistol duel in the sky, and had got his German. The British, too, were putting machine guns in their planes. But it was a problem, for most planes have a propeller in front, and that was where you wanted to shoot if you were following an enemy. The idea now was to shoot through the propeller, and the British had devised one with flanges which would turn aside whatever bullets struck its blades. That's the service I'm going into, said Rick. I promised Peter to wait until next year. The age requirement is 18, but a lot of the fellows do a little fibbing. I could, because I'm tall. It is hard to do any studying in times like these. No doubt it's easier for an American. Lanny corresponded also with Rosemary Conway, pronounced Culliver. He always felt funny when he wrote the name. But he knew that many English names were queer,
I made hot
especially the
chocolate.
fashionable ones.
This
The owners carefully preserved this queerness as a form of distinction, as one way of showing that they didn't care a hang whether anybody agreed with them about the right to spell, or to pronounce, or to do anything else. It did not occur to Lanny that people like that might be difficult to get along with in other ways.
Strong coffee.
All he remembered was that Rosemary was delightful to look at, and how sweet Annette kept to sit with his arms around her in her mind. He didn't write anything about that. They exchanged placid and friendly letters that would make proper reading for both censors and parents. She said that her father was commanding a regiment somewhere in France, and that her mother's nephew, the Honorable Gerald Smith Totten, had been killed after holding the Commission Colonel near runs against 7 enemy attacks. His war is rather hard on our best families, explained the gunner or captain Cowboy. Because they have to show themselves on the parapets or whichever it is, to set an example for the men. I want to take up nursing, but many kids think we need to finish this year's school. Mothers always think that we are a lot younger than we are really. Are American mothers like that? IV. Lanny could not help but think about Kurt all the time, and wondering what he was doing and thinking. Of course Kurt would be patriotic. Would he blame Lanny for not taking the side of Germany? What reason would he give? Lanny wished he could find out. But of course no letters were allowed to come or go between countries at war. One day it happened that Lanny was poking into a bureau drawer where he kept handkerchiefs and a fishing reel and some cartridges and photographs and old letters and whatnot. He picked up a business card and read, "Oh Hans Robin, Agent, Matcha Pivor Electric Special Needs Tyson, Rotterdam." What a lot had happened in the world since Lanny had talked with that Jewish gentleman on the train last Christmas. Wondered if I'll ever see him again, the boy reflected. He remembered that he had intended to write to Mr. Robin. And this brought another idea, that possibly the salesman of gadgets might be willing to mail a letter to Kurt for him. Lanny had learned, from the conversation of his mother's friends, that one could communicate with the Germans in this way. It was against the law, but much business was still being carried on by way of neutral countries. He couldn't do Mr. Robin any harm, the boy decided, because I won't say anything the censor can object to. I won't even need to say that I'm in France. He sat himself down and composed a letter to his friend in Germany. To set the German censor straight he began. My father has told me that it's an American's duty to keep neutral, and I am doing it. I don't want to lose touch with you, so I write to say that I am at home, and that my mother and I are well. My father is back in Connecticut. I am studying hard, reading the best books I can get, and not forgetting the ideals of the novel life. I am also practicing sight reading, although my piano technique is still mixed up. I have no teachers at present, but my mother has met a young American college man who came over on a catboat for the adventure and now thinks he may stay for a while because he has become interested in a young lady who lives near us. He may want to earn some money, so may teach me what he learned at college, if he has not forgotten it. Please give my sincere regards to all the members of your family, and write your affectionate friend, Lenny. Certainly the letter could do no injury to any nation at war. And Lenny wrote the salesman in Rotterdam, recalling their meeting on the train and hoping that this would find Mr. Robin well, and that his business had not been too greatly injured by the war. Lenny explained that here was a letter to the friend he had visited in Silesia. Mr. Robin was welcome to read the letter, and Lanny assured him that it contained no war secrets. Mr. Robin would be at liberty to test the paper with lemon juice or with heat. Lanny had been reading and hearing about spies and the way they operated. He hoped that this request would not embarrass Mr. Robin in any way. If it did, he was at liberty to destroy the letter. Otherwise, would he please mail it in a plain envelope addressed to Kurt Meissner at Schloss Stubendauer, Upper Silesia. Lanny posted the 2 letters in the same envelope, and then waited. In due course came a reply from Mr. Robin, cordial as Lanny had expected. Mr. Robin was pleased to take his word about the letter, and would mail future letters if so desired. He recalled his fellow traveler with pleasure and hoped to meet him again someday. No, the war had not injured his business. On the contrary, he had been able to expand it along new lines, not so different from those of Lanny's father. Mr. Robin told about his family. He had 2 little boys, one 10 and the other 8, and he took the liberty of enclosing a snapshot, so that Lanny might feel that he knew them. Lanny studied the picture, which had been taken in the summertime, and showed the family standing at the entrance to a pergola, with a Belgian Shepherd dog lying on the ground in front of them. Mr. Robin had on an outing shirt with a soft collar such as Lanny himself wore. Mrs. Robin was stoutish and kind-looking, and the 2 little boys gazed soberly at Lanny, as if they had known that he was going to be seeing them, and wondered what sort of fellow he might be. They had dark wavy hair like their father, and large, gentle eyes. On the back their names were written, Hoss and Freddie, and the information that the former played the violin and the latter the clarinet. Lanny thought once more that he liked the Jews, and asked his mother why they didn't know any. Uni replied that she hadn't happened to meet them. Robbie didn't like them any too much. A couple of weeks later came a letter postmarked Switzerland, without the name of any sender. It proved to be from Larry, and the 2 had some friend whom he trusted. It was in the same cautious tone as Lanny's. I'm glad to hear about an American's attitude to present events. You will of course understand that my point of view is different. You are fortunate in being able to go on with your music studies. For me it has become necessary to make preparations for a more active career. Whatever happens, I will always think of you in friendship. My soul remains where it has always been, and I count upon yours. I will laugh when I can hope that you will do the same. The members of my family are well at present.
Is that what that was?
All, as you can imagine, are very busy. Those who are at home join me in kindest regards. Kurt. Lanny showed this to his mother, and she agreed that Kurt must be preparing for some sort of military service. He was only 16, but then the Germans were thorough and began young. His brothers, no doubt, were in the fighting now. Lanny tried to read between the lines. The sentences of his friends solely meant to tell him, over the censor's shoulder, that even though Kurt went to war, he would still believe in the importance of the ideal, and art is an instrument for uplifting mankind. The war was not going to make any difference in their friendship. V. Since Kurt was counting upon Lanny's soul, Lanny must be worthy of it. He decided that he spent too much time reading love stories, and should begin at once upon something uplifting. He was wondering what to choose, when he happened to hear Roger Ago, the retired diplomat, remark that the priests and bishops who were blessing the instruments of slaughter in the various nations were not very well representing the spirit of Jesus. Lanny reflected that he had seen many pictures of Jesus, and of Jesus' mother, and of apostles of angels and saints and whatnot, yet he knew very little about the Christian religion. Both his mother and his father had had it forced upon them in their youth, and hated it. But as a matter of art education, shouldn't Lanny read up on it? He asked the white-haired and courtly ex-diplomat where he could find out what Jesus had said, and was reminded that the words were set down in some old books called the Gospels, and Rochambeau didn't happen to own a copy, and Beauty's friends, of whom the boy made inquiry, found the idea amusing. Finally Lanny found in a bookstore a copy of this ancient work. Winter was coming now. In Flanders and through northern France 1 million men were lying out in the open, in trenches and shell holes half full of filthy water which froze at night. They were devoured by vermin and half paralyzed by cold, eating bread and canned meat, when it could be brought to them over roads which had been turned into quagmires. All day and night bullets whistled above them, and shells came down out of the sky, blowing bodies to fragments and burying others under loads of mud. The wounded had to lie where they fell until death released them, or night made it possible for their fellows to drag them back into the trenches. And with this going on a few hundred miles away, Lanny was reading the story of Jesus, 4 times over, with variations. He was deeply touched by it each time, and wept over the way that poor man had been treated, and loved him for the kind and gentle things he had said. If somebody had happened along to speak for one of the religious sects, almost any fit person might have made a convert. As it was, Lanny had no one to consult but a worldly wise ex-diplomat, who told him that if he wanted to follow Jesus he would have to do it in his own heart, because none of the churches who were traveling in that path were near it. So Lanny didn't go to church. Instead he studied arithmetic, algebra, and modern history with his new tutor, Jerry Pendleton, a happy-go-lucky fellow whom Beauty Bug had met in the way she met most persons, at a party for tea and dancing. She liked him because he had red hair, a gay disposition, and good manners. He had come to Europe with a chum, working their way, and had got caught, first by the war, and then by a mademoiselle whose mother conducted the pension at which he was staying. Instead of going back to finish his senior year in a freshwater college, Jerry had lingered on, and the job as tutor presented itself as a happy solution of several problems. The young man's account of education in the United States was not exactly favorable. He said that the main thing you learned was how to get along with other fellows, and with girls. He confessed, as Mr. Elphinstone had done, that he had forgotten all the subjects he was going to teach, but he and Lanny could read together, and there was that magnificent encyclopedia which could never go wrong. Jerry would at least keep the kid out of mischief, and at the same time Mrs. Bud could give him heavy advice about the most bewildering love affair he had ever run into. And I'll read. Cerise, it appeared, was being brought up in French fashion, which meant that she couldn't see a young man without a mother being close by, and he couldn't even bring her to one of Mrs. Bud's tea parties without a chaperone. At home you took a girl motoring, or if you didn't have a car, you bicycled and had a picnic in the woods. But here they were all nuns until after they were married, and then, apparently, you could pick them up in the gambling rooms at the casino. Not quite all of them, said Beauty, beginning the education of her son's tutor. 9. Once again, for a day, Marcel's attendance was free from the censor. He was on his way to his post of duty, and poured out his heart to his beloved. This time he didn't hide from her the dangers to which he was going. The hour had come when she had to steal her soul. Marcel was gay, as always. That was the way you had to take life, if you didn't need to let it get him down. Make a work of art of it. Put your best into it. Play your little part, and be ready to quit before the audience got tired of you. Marcel described a most holy as a grotesque and amusing object, in rebellion against the men who who had created the monster were trying to break out of their control.
PEMDAS?
It was huge in fact, and assumed changing shapes, and danced and cavorted in the air. A net of cords imprisoned it, and a steel cable bound into the earth. The cable was on it fully, and 2 stout horses or oxen flying across a field let the balloon up or pulled it down. All this for the sake of an observer who sat in a bulletproof basket underneath the balloon, equipped with field glasses and measuring instruments, and a telephone set. It was his task to spy on enemy entrenchments, and the movements of troops and guns. He had to have a keen eyesight, and he trained to recognize the difference between branches growing on trees in the same and cut down and made into his aim through a heavy gun. He had to know burning when was removed to guns name. Also, he had to be a man who had traveled in fjords of the Norway and the Isles of Greece without getting seasick. Or the ones which blew off the North Sea would toss him around like a whole yacht full of soap. King Slow the painter, who had been sorry for 4 years with Huckleberry, but couldn't help finding him funny. Of course, such a balloon would be a target for the enemy. Airplanes would come darting out of the clouds at 100 miles an hour, spitting fire as they came. He had guns on the ground to stop them, wrote Marceau. Guns with high-angle mountings designed especially to shoot at planes, but I fear they are not very good yet, and Lenny should tell us all to make better ones for my protection. The shells from these guns make 1 puff of smoke when they explode, so that the gun incorrect its aim. The English call the guns are CHIDS, and I am told that this comes from some music hall character who said, football, certainly not. It is wonderful, the humor with which the English fellows take this messy business.
Baby
I
bomb.
had one as an instructor and he has explained their jokes to me.
Good shot,
The heavy
dog.
shells which make an enormous cloud of black smoke they call actions
Sweetie, honey,
because of a
honey.
Negro prize fighter who is dangerous.
Still one, though.
Also, they call them Black Marias and old boxes. Doubtless there will be new names by the time I get to the front. Beauty broke down and couldn't breathe anymore. It seemed to her horrible that men should
pay
make jokes
attention
about
on
death and
that.
destruction. Of course, the odds so that they might not have to weep. But Beauty could weep, and she did. She was certain that her lover was gone forever, and her hopes died a new death every time she thought of him. Talking with Enroch, I learned that his mother had cause for fear, because the job which Marceau had chosen represented just about the peak of her in this war. A single correct observation followed by a well-placed shell might put a battery of guns out of action. So the enemy waged incessant warfare upon the stationary balloons. This far the French had managed to keep the mastery of the air, but the fighting was incessant with a death ray cry. Woman must weep, a poet in Lanny's anthology had said. P.I.I. Mrs. Emily Chattersworth wrote the news. Learning of the dreadful sufferings of the wounded after the Great Battle of the Aisne, she had led the CH to Les Ortiz to the governor for a hospital. Then she had been moved to go and see what was being done, and had been so shocked by the sight of mangled bodies brought in by the hundreds, and the efforts of exhausted doctors and nurses to help them, that she had abandoned her career as salary and taken up at the hospital director. Now she was helping to organize a society in Paris for the aid of the wounded and was asking all her friends for help and contributions. Would you do something? Mrs. Emily said that Marceau might someday be brought to Les Ortiz. And of course that was Beauty. Despite her vow to economize and pay her debts, she sent a check to her friend. Then Lanny began to observe a curious phenomenon. From giving her lover, and then to me, Beauty no longer refused to give them up. So far she had been paying more. But now little by little she took a hating turn. Of course she didn't know about well policy, and didn't try to discuss it. Beauty was her
Gotcha.
and recalled the hordes of Teutons who had come flocking to the Riviera in recent winters.
Thank you.
The hotel keepers
Oh,
had
see.
welcomed them because they spent money. But Beauty had a broken them because she loved the quiet of her retreat and named it. The women with the had voices like Valkyries. The men had jowls, and rolls of fat on the backs of their necks, and huge bellies and buttocks which they displayed indecently to the winter sunshine. They drank and ate sausages in public, made ugly guttural noises, and now, as it turned out, they had all the time been spying and intriguing, preparing huge engines of destruction and death. Yes, Beauty decided, she hated all Germans. And this made for disharmony in the little island of peace which she had created in Wimenu. Sophie didn't want to hate the Germans because it might start her Eddie off to be a hero, like Marcel and Rochambeau didn't want it because he was old and tired, liable to heart attacks if he let himself get excited. Dear lady, he would plead, ye in this crowded continent have been hating each other for so many centuries, pray do not bring us any more fuel for our fires. The retired diplomat's voice was gentle, and his manner differed somehow when he frowned. When he agreed that things were going to be harder for him and his mother became warlike. He would remind her of Kurt, and of great Germans like Goethe and Schiller and Beethoven, who belonged to all Europe. He would repeat to her the which Robbie had told time and of which the father kept reminding him, in carefully veiled language. Soon Beauty burst out that Robbie was thinking of the money he was going to make out of this war. Lenny was a bit shocked, and withdrew it himself. He needed to remind his mother that it was Robbie's money on which they were both living, and which she was
I
giving
was
to
ragging on
Mrs. Emily.
PEMDAS. Good job,
P.I.I.
PEMDAS. I'm
Jerry
sorry.
Pendleton was being a good companion. He liked to do the things that Lanny liked, and they climbed the hills and played tennis and swam and fished, and Jerry cultivated the mother of NLLE. Cerise liked bringing in more seafood than the pension could consume. They enjoyed torch fishing especially, and made themselves expert spearsmen, and got many a green worry, but never one as big as Captain Progestus. One night a strange adventure befell through Mud and was the very thing that Beauty had been worried about, and for which everybody had laughed at her. It was to be that way all through the war. Truth would outrun fiction, and if anybody said that a thing couldn't happen, then right away it did. A still night, something not so common in the month of December, and 2 young fellows in fishing tongs and sweaters, because it was cold in spite of the black moon. They had a torch set on the bow of the boat, blazing brightly, and were lying, one on each side, with their heads over the gunwales, looking down into the crystal clear water. The sea grows waved gently to and fro, and it was like some enchanted land. The langoustes poked their heads out from the rocks, and fish idled here and there, many of them camouflaged, just like the Germans. Lenny thought that Marcel, doing the same kind of work, but high in the air instead of on top of the sea. The King's lighthouse was flashing red and green. Not many lights on the shore, for nightlife of the Gulf One was dimmed at winter. Not many sounds, just the murmur of distant traffic, and now and then the click of a motorboat. But suddenly a strange sort of splashing, the movement of a great bulk of water, and a series of waves rushing toward them, rocking their little boat so that they could no longer look into the depths. They stared toward the sound, shading their eyes from the torchlight, and gradually made out something, until she... Impossible to believe, absolutely impossible to doubt an ungodlike object arisen in the depths of the sea, and lying there, quite still. Submarine, whispered Lenny. And his companion exclaimed, about the torch. Lenny was nearer, and grabbed it and plunged it into the water. Hissing sound, then silence and darkness, and the ripple rocking in the swells. The two listened, their hearts thumping. He must have seen us, Jerry whispered. They waited and wondered what to do. They had both read stories about submarines sinking vessels, and not even bothering to save the crews. This might be an enemy one, or again it might be French or British. Sounds traveled clear over smooth water. They heard footsteps, people moving. Then came splashing in, unmistakably, the sound of muffled oars. They are coming after us, exclaimed Lenny. And his tutor grabbed their oars and began to row away a light from the shore, less than 100 feet away. Did the people on the submarine turn on a searchlight and open fire on them? It was something they both thought of, and they had a good right to be scared. But nothing of the sort happened. They got to the shore and crept out of the boat. Then, safe behind the rocks, they listened again, and heard the muffled oars, come down again from the nearby boat farther down the shore. Very plainly they heard the boat stop, and after a minute or less, they again heard that whatever it was going back to the submarine.
Bad shot.
He came to get somebody, whispered Jerry. Or else to put somebody ashore.
Ouch.
It must be an enemy. No Frenchman would behave like that. A moment later,
Chuck
the two
Walla.
somebody on shore may be looking for us. They called for no argument, and the pair got up and started
her
to climb
behind
toward the
now.
boat.
Don't
Here,
stick
whispered
it up
Jerry.
her again.
Suddenly, his making very serious.
Only telling you once.
He's for the military. If anybody wants to put ashore, he'd be armed, and he'd mean business.
There you go.
That's right, answered the younger
Yeah.
boy, in a delightful
Am
state
I
of
losing
excitement.
it or what?
Oh, you know where there'd be a telephone, and almost any of the villas along the
My
road.
mouse is working
Now,
good.
let's go quietly. And if anyone tries to stop us, we'll go to go one way and I'll go another. They can hardly get us both in the dark. They tiptoed down the road, and presently came to a house with noise, and asked permission to telephone the nearest police station. The police ordered them to wait right there, which they were glad to do,
10 to 5.
and meanwhile told their story to a family of English people who were greatly excited. The car with gendarmes arrived soon, and another with military men a little later. They took the Americans down to the shore and asked them 100 questions. There was no sign of any submarine, only Lenny's boat, which the time was about to float away. Launches came, and men searched the shore, finding no trace of anything what would there have been on those masses of rocks. The two young fellows managed to convince the authorities of their truth, and one of the army men said that it must have been an Austrian submarine from the Adriatic. That was all they said. The curtain of silence fell about the matter. Nothing was published yet, but there was a lot of patrolling by torpedo boats and torpedoes in the neighborhood. And Raja, who knew about military matters, said that the enemy's purpose must have been to put ashore some important agent who was too well known to come in with a neutral passport. Doubtless he would have a place of refuge prepared. The Secret Service of the Allies would be trying to find out who he was and what he had come for. Besides the open war of arms, there was this underground war of spying and sabotage plans going on. Both sides had their agents in all the services of the enemy, and were spending fortunes to corrupt and undermine it. The French had gathered up the known enemy aliens on Lenny Penn and turned on the STP Marguerite, which lay just offshore from Cannes, and had been the peaceful home of some 50 nuns, and a place where tourists came to sit under the big pine trees and have tea. But of course there must be many Germans at large in France, posing as Swiss, or Danes, or citizens of the United States, or whatnot.
Up.
They would be watching troop movements, perhaps planning to blow up railroad bridges, or to put bombs upon merchant vessels, or even warships. If they were caught,
Oh my god, how about that?
they would be taken to some military fortress, and stood against the wall one bullet and shot through the heart. Ice. The dread news came for which Reedy had been waiting many weeks. It was written by a comic of Marcel's, around men whom he had pledged to his duty.
Uh-oh.
The comic regretted to inform Madame that her friend had been severely injured. His emperor had been attacked by two enemy blades, and had been fallen down, but not quickly enough.
You guys don't let them come up here, please.
Caught fire, and Marcel had leaped
They'll
out,
shoot
and
me.
badly smashed up, also burned. He had been taken to the base hospital at Beauvais, and a letter could not say to his resignation.
You don't mind.
After the first collapse, Beauvais' one idea was to get him. She couldn't stop sobbing, and was looking for the sort of convulsion of shuddering that she must go. She must break now. Come on.
Chuck Walla's coming up here. Should not be doing.
She had visions of her lover reunion. They could be working in agony. He might be dying at that moment. God, my God, help me, help Michael Marcel. It happened that Jerry and Rocha were in the house.
This
as well
is
as
my
Lenny.
nest.
They tried to comfort her, but what could they
My
say?
crib.
They tried to restrain
Sacred.
her, but she wouldn't listen to reason. Who must find out if you can get on the train, argued the diplomat. But her answer was that she would murder. And he was managed to get essence what she said. LL, find a way, I will pay what it costs you, can always get things if you pay. But, my dear lady, you may not be able to get near the talents you would soon, and they never allow relatives or visitors. LL, find a way. I'll go to Paris and lay siege to the government. There are many persons laying siege to the government right now, including the Germans. And go to help Marcel. I'll find a way. I'll take a job as nurse with Emily Chattersworth. She'll get me there somehow. Who will come with me? Lenny had learned to drive a car, but hardly well enough for this trip. Jerry Pendleton was a first-class driver and knew how to fix carburetors and those other miserable devices that were always getting out of order. Jerry would go, and the terrified maids would rush to pile some clothes into suitcases, warm things, for Madame was declaring hysterically that if they wouldn't let her into the town, she would sleep in the car, or in the open like the soldiers. None of the pretty things, but then she's changed her
Yeah,
mind.
it's done.
If she had to
Camping?
call on government officials, she would have to look her best, nothing showy, but that simplicity which is the apex of art, and which costs millions. A strange thing to see a woman, so choked with her own sobs that she could hardly make herself understood, at the same time trying to decide what sort of dress was proper to wear when approaching the war minister of the government in such dire peril of its existence that it had to move to a remote port by the sea. Lanny packed his suitcase, taking a warm sweater and the overcoat he had worn in Salisa. A good suit also, because he too might have to interview officials. Beauty sent a wire to Mrs. Anderley, asking her to use her influence. And Marjalo sent a telegram to an official of his acquaintance who could arrange it if any man could. And a wide woman can do the impossible, added the old gentleman, Harry Bennett. They piled goods and blankets into the car, filling up the seat alongside Beauty, who sat now, a mask of horror, gazing into a lifelong nightmare. They drove to the kitchen where Jerry stayed, and he went upstairs and threw some of his things into a bag. Downstairs were NL Reed, Cerise and her mother and her aunt, all shocked by the news. The red-headed tutor grabbed the proper young French lady and kissed
I
her
should hit the
correspondent
shift
hand
key
on
when I'm backing up from my kill shot right now.
C.P.S. and the keys. Exclaimed mother. And Google top fate added the F. It was practically an engagement. The theories of pain. The little town of Beauvais lies about 50 miles to the north of Paris. It is something over 1,000 years old, and has an ancient cathedral, and alleys now leading into boulevards. It was like Paris, in that the Germans had got there almost, but not quite. Its inhabitants had heard the thunder of guns, and were still hearing it, day and night, a distant storm when the sun came up. Thunderstorms are capricious, and whether this one will return was a subject of hourly speculation. People studied the bulletins in front of the ancient age tell them and hoped that what they read was true. To keep the storm away, everybody was working day and night. The cannon de Verdun passed through the town, which had become a base, soldiers to training, guns and ammunition being unloaded, depots established to store food and fodder and pass them up to the front, everything that would be needed if the line was to hold and the enemy be driven back. No use to expect comfort in such a place. Count yourself lucky that you were alive. Beauty Bug was here because she belonged to that class of people who are accustomed to have their own way. She had met cabinet ministers at tea parties and salons. She had given a generous check for the aid of the French Army. She bore the name of a munitions family now being impotent to expand their plant and help to save La Patrie. So when she appeared at the door of an official, the secretary bowed and escorted her in. The official said, urgently, "Madam," and signed the document and had it stamped. So the car with the red-headed college boy showed for having passed by centuries on the edge of Beauvais, and the last authorities of the town did their best to make things agreeable for a lady whose grief added dignity to her numerous charms. "Yes, madam, we will do our best to find your friend. But it will not be easy, because we have no general records." There was another battle going on. The rumbling guns were making hundreds of new cases every hour, and they were dumped here because there was no time to take them farther. "We will go ourselves in search," said madam. And when they told her that all the buildings in the town which could be spared had been turned into hospitals, she asked, "Can you give me a list?" The boys drove her to one place after another, and she would stand waiting while the clerk looked through a register holding another of the dead. Her hands would be clenched and her lips trembling, and the two escorts at her side would be ready to catch her if she started to fall. At last they found the name of Marcel's caves. In a dingy old inn, so crowded with cots in the corridors that there was barely room to get through. It was built as Tyke and Kitty Philor, amongst toward shapes, and trees, and sights unholy. Beauty Bug, accustomed to every luxury, was plunged into this inferno, ill-lighted, clamorous with cries and groans, stinking of blood and suppurating wounds and disinfectants. Ambulances and carts were unloading new cases on the sidewalk. Sometimes they were dead before a place could be found for them, and then they were carted to open graves outside the city. Aye. Marcel was alive. That was all Beauty had asked for. They could not tell her much about him. His legs had been broken and had been set. His back was injured. He didn't know how badly. He doubtless had internal injuries. His burns had been dressed. Very painful, of course, but they did not think he would be blind. "We have no time, madam," they said. "We do not sleep. We are exhausted." Beauty could see that it was true. Doctors and nurses and attendants, all were pale and had dark rings under their eyes, and some of them staggered. "Es la guerre, madam." "No, I know," said Beauty. They took her to where he lay upon a cot, with a dozen other men in the same room. There would have been no way of recognizing him. His head was a mass of bandages, only an opening for his mouth and nose, and these appeared to be open sores. She had to kneel by him and whisper, "Es il Marcel?" He did not stir. Just murmured, "Yes." She said, "Darling, I have come to help you." When she put her ear to his lips, she heard faintly, "And he died." There was something wrong with his voice, but she made out the words, "Won't try to save me. I would be a monster." Beauty had never been taught anything about psychology. Only what she had picked up by watching people she knew. She had never heard of eighth wish, and if anyone had spoken of auto-hypnosis she would have wondered if it was a gadget for a motor car. But she had her share of common sense, and perceived right away that she had to take command of Marcel's mind. She had to make him want to live. She had to find what might be in here for the midst of images, make sure that the sounds were going into it, and then say, firmly and slowly, "Marcel, I love you. I love your soul, and I don't care what has happened to your body. I need to stand by you and pull you through. You have got to live for my sake. No matter what it costs, you must stand it, and see it through." Do you hear me, Marcel? Hear you. LL right then. Don't say no to me. You must do it because I want you to. For the sake of our love. I want to take you away from here, and nurse you, and you will get over this. But first you have to make up your mind to it. You have to want to live. You have to love me enough. Do you understand me? It is not fair to you. That was for me to say. Don't argue with me. Don't waste your strength. You belong to me, and you have no right to leave me, to deprive me of your love. I don't care what you say. I don't want to hear it. I want you. Whatever does of you that the doctors can sleep with much is mine, and you must not take it from me. You can live only if you try to, and I ask you to do that. I want your promise.
Yummy,
I
good
want
job.
you to say it and mean it. I have to go out and make arrangements to take you to Paris. But I can't go until I know that you'll fight and not give up. You told me to have courage, Marcel. Now I have it, and you have to repay me. Do you understand? You understand? What's your promise? I want to know that if I go out to get help, you will fight with everything that's in you to keep alive, to keep your hope and courage, for my sake, and for our love. There's no use talking about love if you are not willing to do that much for it. Answer me that you will. She put her ear to the opening again, and heard a whisper, LL right. She touched him gently on the shoulder, not knowing what part of him might be a wound, and said, aid for me. I'll come back just as quickly as I can make arrangements. Anything else I can do? Here, he said. She didn't know how to give it to him, for she was afraid to lift his head, and she had no to it, and no wound to ask. She took a handkerchief into a glass and squeezed a little in his mouth, and kept that up until he said it was enough. Aye. The doctors made no objection to having a patient taken off their hands. They said he would be crowded into an automobile, and would surely kill him. And there was no ambulance available. It was a question of making changes in Beauty's old car, one of the new and fashionable kind called a limousine, a square black box. It might be possible to take out two of the seats, the right-hand ones, and make a place to lay a narrow mattress on the floor. Then Jerry made a suggestion we not put a board platform on top of the two seats, with a mattress on that. They drove to a garage. There was nobody but the wife of the proprietor and an elderly mechanic, both greatly startled by the idea of cutting out a piece of the back of the luxury car, so that a wounded soldier could be slid into it. The windshield was large, and the mechanic thought he might be able to remove that. Beauty said, rig it if necessary. We can have it replaced in Paris. Jerry took the proprietress aside and spoke magic words. Eslami blessed Beldine. Say l'amour. It explained everything, and they went to work with enthusiasm. Love will find out the way. They managed to get the windshield off without too great harm, and they put some boards together and made a platform, and the proprietress brought an old mattress, and Lenny worked at it with his pocket knife, cutting it down to the right size. CES ever came. While all this was being done, Beauty was out looking for a telephone to call the surgeon she knew in Paris, and arrange for Marcel to be received at a private hospital. When she got back, the platform was in place, and the mattress on top of it, a reasonably good place for a wounded man to lie for the time it would take to get him to the big city. Two tired attendants carried the patient down and slid him onto the mattress without damage. Beauty distributed money to everyone who helped them, and Jerry gave them cigarettes, which they wanted even more at the moment. It was dark when they set out, but no matter, Marcel was alive, and Beauty sat in the rear seat, which brought her head about level with his ear, and for 2 hours she whispered, Marcel, I love you, and you are going to live for my sake. She found 1,000 variations of it, and Lenny listened, and told things about love. He was in a cramped posterior and he had taken out some of the bags and tied them onto the rear of the car, and Lenny was squatting on the floor at his mother's knees, underneath Marcel's mattress.
Man, how
He
y'all
couldn't see anything,
doing?
but he could hear, and he learned that love is not all pleasure, but can be agony and
Pull my
haunting,
leg.
harder than sacrifice. He learned
Overlander,
what the carpenter was talking about in the marriage
Thumbnail,
service,
same
for
team.
better for worse, for richer for
There's
poorer,
futon
in sickness and in
Santa.
health, to love and to cherish,
Who could
till death us
imagine?
do part. ID. The human body is a complicated engine with many miles of elastic pipes large and small. Although the
Shoot.
engine may develop a maximum horsepower per pound of weight, the pipes are made of fragile materials, and the framework which encloses and supports them is porous and brittle. When you take such a contraption 50 feet up in the air and explode a mass of hydrogen gas above it, and let it crash onto hard ground, you produce in a second or two results which surgeons and nurses may need a long time to remember. There were no physicians who honestly were not overworked, and no hospital which was not crowded. But the lady with the magical name of user influence, and
Magic.
getting the magic cable from the sun, replied, "Spare no expense." So Marcel was x-rayed and investigated, and his burns were treated according to the modern technique of cleaning away damaged tissues. After several days of watching, the doctor said that he would live, if he did not become discouraged by the ordeals he would have to undergo, and if his amour proper was not too greatly wounded by the certainty of looking like a scarecrow, it was up to Beauty. She could have that scarecrow if she wanted it, and she did. There were no more thoughts about Pittsburgh now. She had made her bed, and she would lie in chamber with a pride of women amazing the same. She got herself some nurses' uniforms and made a job of it. The people of the place were only too glad, having plenty to do without this difficult case. She had a cot in one corner of the room, and for weeks hardly ever left it. She took no chance of Marcel's amour proper breaking loose and causing him to throw himself out of the window. She would be right there, to keep reminding him that he belonged to her, and that her property sense was strong. Troops of little demons came and sat upon the little box which made the head and foot of Marcel's bed. His physical eyes were swamped in bandages, but he saw them plainly with his mind's eye. Some had round shaving heads with pickled on. Some had sharp-pointed mustaches which they twisted and turned up at the ends. Others were just regular devils with horns and red tails. They came in relays, and pushed the creature's wounded flesh and poked needles into it. They twisted his
I was
broken
just
joints. They pulled his
predicting
strings
that he
together
was
as
back
he wasn't
there.
sure. They gave him no peace day or night. His mother
Good
stayed
guess.
on him wherever he had enough skin left for it to happen. He would run and do his best not to groan, because of that poor woman who sat there in anguish of soul, talking to him when he couldn't listen, trying to help him when there wasn't any help. When you are thinking you are alone. There were the birds that kept having to be dressed. There were bones that had been set wrong and had to be broken again. He was always being transported to the operating room for more probing and poking. The doctors could give him opiates, of course, but there was a limit if they intended to keep him alive. He just had to stand it. He had to learn to live with pain and make a deal. The doctors would help him by making jokes and letting him make them. He took to calling them lumberers and threatening to get an American one because the French ones didn't know their business. They answered that they would know it a lot better before this war was over. Beauty could hardly stand such jokes, but she toughened herself. As la guerre. The youth in his youthful tutor had rooms in a hotel nearby. The walls had white wainscoting with flowers in the carpet, and the chairs were upholstered to match. The elevators were as if they were made of gold, and were of open drawer, so that you could watch people rise and out before sitting down. An elderly official in a grand uniform set the front doors to revolving for them, and young women musicians in bedrooms and gold-braided played and carried dances while they ate their meals. It was a life of unimaginable luxury for Jerry Hamilton, whose father owned a couple of drugstores in the town of Kansas. They got some books and faithfully studied every morning. After lunch they walked and looked at pictures and the other sights of Paris, and then went to relieve Laddie's mother so that she could have a nap. They were a comfort to Marcel. For men have to be together, it appears. They just can't stand women all the time. Men understand why you have to get out into the world, in spite of danger and death. And Marcel was able to listen. He enjoyed hearing about American college life, including football, and about a trip on a cattle boat, and then traveling over Europe, sleeping in haystacks. He wished that he had thought of something so original when he was a youth. Also, of course, he had to know about the war. He had hoped now to hear about him, but she had to read the news to him, and learn to think about strategy instead of broken armies. Those two armies had locked themselves together, like wild stags which have got their horns caught and are doomed to whip each other around the forest until both of them drop. All the bitter winter the armies would thrust here and yield there, until gradually they got settled down into the earth. The Germans constructed an elaborate set of entrenchments, line behind line. To the defense of these lines they would bring everything they had, and Britain and France would do the same on the other side of Oh Man's Land. Each army was frantically getting ready for the Spanish coast and the war, so the experts all said, only be different as to what the enemy would be. Winners in Paris are disagreeable, and people of means do not stay if they could help it. But you hardly ever let out, and the boys didn't mind, because they were young and everything was new and delightful. They saw motion pictures, French and American. They went to plays, and Jerry improved his French. They had a camera in their side for Robbie wrote that he was making a pile of money, and Robbie might have anything he wanted, provided he did not smoke or drink or go with prostitutes. Friends came to see Beauty and Marcel. Emily Chattersworth, very serious now, completely wrapped up in the affairs of her blessed S. Sophie and her Eddie, she tried so hard to keep her man entertained and hoping that the sight of poor Marcel might teach him the cruelty and wickedness of fighting. But it didn't work that way. Men seemed to be drawn to death like moths into the flame. They thought of vengeance rather than of safety. Lady wrote to Rick, telling what had happened, and it surely did not act as a deterrent with the English boy. He longed all the more to get up there in the air and hunt for talk. The time came when the sufferer's burns were healed enough so that the bandages could be taken off. That was a time of fresh trials for Maddie. Doctors had to warn her. She must be prepared for the worst, and not let Marcel see any trace of horror in her face. He didn't have a mirror, but of course he would put his fingers to his face and feel what was there. His friends must help him get used to it, and make her realize it made no difference to them. Beauty, who had been named for her looks, and valued her English very high among the gifts of life, had chosen a man who possessed fine blonde hair and mustaches, grave, melancholy features, and an expression of romantic tenderness. Now he had no hair at all, just a red scalp, and his face was a flaming scar. His lips were down on one side, so that he could only make a pretense of articulating the letters A and B. Out of a gaping wound his teeth grinned hideously, and the gum of the lower jaw was all exposed. Someday a facial surgeon might replace the lip, so the doctors assured him. Fortunately his eyesight was uninjured, but one of his upper eyelids was gone, and most of his ears. Beauty had to go and look at that mask, and smile affectionately, and say that it didn't matter.
Oh, she's noticing me.
Marcel liked him as Roman to be kissed, and that was where she kissed him. Since he liked so much to make jokes, she told him that she would take up needlework
Heading
like
my
other
way,
old ladies,
you know.
and learn to patch up his skin. Seriously, she insisted that it was his soul she cared about,
Let me
and
give her
that
the
wasn't
cold
changed.
shoulder.
After saying all this, she went off to the little room which she
Give her
had to
the
dress in,
airs.
and there wept hysterically, cursing
I'd
God
get
and the cleanser.
autism going.
Letty and Jerry, duly warned, went in armed with cheerfulness. Al, do you think you can stand me? Asked Cooper. And when he said, don't be silly, Marcel. No people are doing such as they became that. Jerry added, read an article about what the surgeons are doing, making new faces. Gosh, it takes your breath away. They've taken away pretty nearly everything but my breath, replied the painter. Letty said, we left your eyes and the heels. You'll be happy and better than ever.
Push button.
That was the way to
Go
talk.
push some buttons.
VI. What was Beauty going to make him slow which he had done that? She believed in having some thought about it as a right. The minister's daughter,
Macarena,
raised
where the
herself,
girls come
uncultured
after
home,
you.
She had learned to loathe incessant
coming
drama and
to-
preaching
oh.
and tiresome duty.
She's
She
like,
had fled
dang
her,
you.
and still avoided every mention of its symbols.
Come on, Gina.
But suddenly all those hidden
That's
things
it,
had sprung as
sweetie.
it were out of the earth.
That's
and seized
where you
her
need
now
to
with
be,
change
yeah.
which there could be no breaking. And it was
I know you want that
all
control
and
point.
when she wanted to make it easier,
Don't
she
deny
said,
it.
"These brothers should not be merciful." He never knew that she loved him or something. Over and over she thought, "Stay back."
Ah, you're gonna kill me. Help, help. Gina, don't kill me.
berserkless wreck of a man, and whatever happiness she found would have to be undecided.
Good job,
She
girl.
who was so dainty had to accustom herself to blood and stenches. And now she would have to eat and sleep
me
and
come
walk and
after you
talk in
with
the
my
presence of
weakest
what ordinary
Mac.
people see only in nightmares. Even time ago, said she must hide the rage of escape. Even to herself, she was ashamed to admit that she regretted her bargain and dreamed of a happiness she might have had in a far-off land of plenty
Nah,
and
nah,
peace.
nah, nah, nah.
She had to force herself to be loyal to her choice.
Oh, no. Please, Jada, give me a break. Come on, I was just for fun. Don't take it so hard.
Her best friends mustn't know about it. She must tell herself down once for all. In that mood, she went out one day and told her story to Penelope Robinson and arranged for him to come to the hospital. She went back and told Marcel that she had found him and refused to hear any of his objections, intending to have her feelings hurt by them. The two of the nurses were witnesses. They were
Take
very
her out. And I don't mean on a date.
She had to and why vigorously. How else was she persuaded to go on living? She and her son and her son's tutor had to
Wow,
narrate to
girl.
themselves the game they played. It wasn't hard for Landy, because R counted for so much with him. Also, it was wartime, and everybody was full of fervors, and went to a metal badge of glory. The marriage made Yulia a respectable woman
Here,
from
here she goes again.
but oddly enough, it meant a social come down.
No, she's not
Of being
mad.
woman of power.
We should be
She would have
friends,
to
you
get busy
know?
to boost Marcel's paintings, and make herself company again. PII.
I'm married,
The
you
first
know,
thing
so
was to
it's
surprise
safe.
him
You
with
don't have to
the
worry.
his face. He all knew he couldn't bear to let anybody look at that mask before. He would cover the top of his head with a scarf, and across his forehead would hang a close ransom veil, with small holes for eyes and nose. He even went out and bought something silk-lingerie material.
I do like
but
it
he
when
wouldn't
girls
take it.
really
He wanted Ray so that he
stick
wouldn't show
on to
himself
it
stiff.
and won't let
They
go.
compromised on what would do so that she would make a lot of them and wash them with her own hands. She made a pattern, and after that had something to keep her fingers busy while she sat by his bedside. It was springtime before he was able to move out, and they took him back to walking the car, making a two-day journey of it, so as not to put any strain on him. He looked not so bad with his skull cap and veil. The world was getting used to the sight of needles and not yet tired of them. Jerry supported him on one side and Lanny on the other, and they got him into bed menu without mishap. Oh, the glory of that sunshine in the little court. The almost overpowering scent of orange blossoms and jasmine in the evening, and the song of the nightingales. Here were three women to adore him and wait upon him, and nobody to disturb him. Here he meant him to spend the rest of his days in peace, and paint whatever wonderful things he might have in him. She was going to give up all her frivolous life save only such contacts as might help in the campaign to win recognition for genius. There were just a few future friends Marcel wanted to see, and these would come to him, and bring no word for him to look
I'm
at her
thinking
because
of
too big,
another
when
hot
he would ride in the
chocolate,
car.
but
The patient was
it's
soon able to sit up and read,
the
and
way
there
it
were
really
plenty
works
of
is you
magazines.
make some really, really strong black
Jerry
coffee
came and tutored Lanny, and Marcel would listen and improve
and
his
then
English.
put the chocolate,
music.
hot chocolate in
And when he
there.
grew stronger, he walked about the place.
You heat up the milk,
The theories of pain would never let him entirely alone, but he learned
put
about
that
with
in
them.
there.
He was a more silent man than he used to be. There were things going on inside him about which he did not tell and did not wish to be asked by anyone. PII. The military deadlock at the front continued. All winter long, the Allies had spent their forces trying to take
The
trenches with
G.
machine guns, a weapon of which the Germans had managed to get the biggest supply. It was something that Bobby
G.
had helped to teach the man which he had tried to
Mozambique.
teach the French and British.
Now, Mozambique, what you doing back
But
there?
there were his letters, and Lanny knew what they meant. Having been so
I'm gonna have a word
by
with
his
you,
father's
buddy.
comic
I'm
portrayals
trying
of
to
the British
take my
Royalist
microphone
officials with
back.
whom he had been trying
I'm
to do
not even
business.
up to my little
So funny they
nest.
were, so ineffable, almost godlike in their self-satisfaction, so dumb. No longer American could tell them anything. And now dapper young officers strolled out in front of their troops, waving
I'll
their
get
swagger
down.
sticks, and the German sharpshooters knocked them over like partridges off tree limbs. It was sublime, but it wasn't going to win this war of machines. All the nations have come to realize that they were facing a long struggle. Old Emma Chambo, who came off from Sicily Beauty and her husband, used the terrible phrase, war of attrition. It was like the game of checkers in which you had one more man than your enemy, so every time you swapped with him, you increased your advantage. Dear lady, said the ex-diplomat, in answer to Beauty's exclamation of horror, that is the basis on which military strategy is being calculated, and no one stops to ask what you or I think about it. Manpower plus manufacturing power was what we count.
Mozambique.
Britain had sacrificed her little professional army in order to
Right.
save the Channel ports, and now she was rushing a new army into readiness, the volunteer army of 1 million men. There would be a second union, and as many more as needed. They would be shipped to some part of the fighting line, and swap for Germans, man for man, or as near to it as possible. The Turkish politicians had been bought into the war on the German side, which meant that the Black Sea was shut off, and nothing could be sent into Russia's southern ports. So a British expedition had been sent to take the Dardanelles. They informed Lanny that his officer was going as a private in one of these regiments. Rosemary knew that her father had been promoted to the rank of colonel, and was to command this same regiment. Rosemary had extracted a promise from her mother to be allowed to study nursing after the war year, and perhaps she would see Davy on one of the missions. She promised that she would wave to Lanny as she went by. It wasn't long before Italy was bought by the Allies, and that was important to people who lived in Provence. It lifted the fear from their souls, and freed the regiments guarding the southeastern border. Proceed, said Marcel to his wife, save for a few months by volunteering. He had been a short point, that he had gone out of his way to get himself smashed up. Now she could congratulate herself that he had been done quickly. Ajax. Marcel's paintings had been stored in the spare room of the villa, and now he would set them up one by one and look at them. He wanted to see what sort of painter he had really been, in those days that now seemed a different lifetime. Lenny and Jerry and Roger would join him and make comments, more or less expert. Lenny and his tailor thought they were marvelous, but the painter took shaking his head more and more. No, they weren't much. It was too easy to do things like that. There was no soul in them. Lenny protested. But the old diplomat said, "You've become a different man." It was something which happened now and then to painters, poets, musicians. Sometimes it amounted to a transformation. Verdi had changed his style entirely in his middle years. Tolstoy had decided that his greatest novels were useless, even corrupting. Van Gogh had painted everything gloomy and grim and hollow, and then had come to the middle and exploded in a burst of color. "We will start work all over," said the old gentleman. "It's some new way to say what you feel." People who didn't understand are people like Marcel's wife. For example,
Vicky,
reported
what
an
was
unhappy
that?
time while he was groping his way into that new stage of life.
Does that work?
He became restless and discontented.
Practicing
He found fault
much.
with everybody and everything.
Where was he?
His life had come to nothing.
That was a
He took to
long
going out at
range
night,
shot
when
right
people
there.
couldn't
Good
stare at his
shot.
face,
Good
and wandering
shot.
about the roads on the
Dang
path.
you.
Beauty was exasperated, but she dared
You
not
are
show it. She
annoying.
was haunted by the idea that if she made him unhappy, he might try to get out of his reality, but also some ill California, he might seek to release her from her burden by jumping off the rocks. She had never forgotten any suggestion of that possibility, at the time when she was thinking about Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
7.
She ordered built for her genius a little studio in an out-of-the-way corner of the place. North Light
Bunch of
had all modern
smackdown.
conveniences, including a storeroom for his canvases. The whole place of stone, entirely fireproof. She got him a new easel, and a pneumatic cushion for his chair, to spare his sore bones. There was everything ready for him, everything but his own spirit. He would go to the place and sit and brood. He would spend much time stretching canvases on frames, and would sit and dab paint on them, and finally would take them out behind the studio and burn them, saying that he was no good anymore. What he wanted to say couldn't be said in any medium known. Blazing hot summer had come. It was before the Riviera had been discovered as a summer resort, but Lenny, now 15, went about all day in bathing trunks and loved it. Marcel sat in the studio in the same costume with nobody to look at his scarred and battered body. He had taken just for himself. He played for read all day, and ate his meals alone, and only came out after dark. Then he would take a long walk, or if there were visitors he cared about, he would sit on the veranda in the dark with them. Or he would sit alone and listen to Lenny playing the piano. X. The war had lasted a year. Some thought it was a stalemate, and others thought that Germany was winning. She held her line in France, and let the Allies waste themselves pounding at it while she wrote the Russian armies. She had launched mass warfare, a new device filling the world with dismay. She was answering the British blockade by submarine warfare. British waters were a military area, and all vessels in them liable to be sunk without warning. In May had come the attack upon the Lusitania, the incident which excited the greatest horror in the United States. This great passenger liner, with more than 2,000 persons on board, was passing the Irish coast from the Calm Sea, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the passengers had come from lunch, and were walking the decks, or playing cards, reading or chatting, when the submarine rose from the depths and launched a torpedo, blowing a hole in the huge vessel's side. The sea rushed in and sank her in a few minutes, drowning some 12 persons, including more than 100 babies. When Americans read about the sinking of merchant vessels, British were neutral, and the drowning of the crews, they didn't know any of the people, and their imagination didn't have much to take hold of. But here were people, very minutiae society people, rich people, some of them prominent and popular were writers like Justice Miles Froman and Albert Hubbard, theatrical people like Charles Froman and Charles Klein, millionaires like the Vanderbilts. Their friends had gone to the pier in New York to see them off, or to the pier to welcome them, and then they read this horror story. When the boatloads of survivors went by,
close for
pictures of the world were filled with accounts of families torn apart, of fathers and mothers giving their lives to save their lives, finding force and serenity in the face of death.
Now come on.
Americans
And
who
play.
faced
Now
the
what you
Titanic,
guys
for
are
nearly everyone
doing?
had friends. American boys
See you all, boys.
Two of Mrs. Annalise oldest friends had
Why are you looking at me like that?
The sister of Edna Haggerty, now Mrs. Fitzlight, was among those of whom no word was heard. Nearly half a dozen persons had heard items from the classic list, only 2 on the list of survivors. Not much of the spirit of neutrality was left in the minds of ladies and gentlemen who discussed such matters.
What are you
over their
doing,
afternoon
dude?
tea. Thus, America was dragged into the center of the
That's
world.
the point.
President Wilson
Blaze.
insisted, and the German government answered that submarines
Thank
could not
you.
give warning without risking destruction, and manifestly could not take off passengers and crew. The Lusitania had carried cartridge gas of Germany.
That was
charged,
like a good
and the British denied it.
blaze.
And how was the truth to be known? The Germans agreed to sink no more such vessels, but they did not keep the promise. All passenger vessels carried cargo, and most
Dang it.
merchant vessels carried passengers, and how could a submarine under war conditions make certain? The Germans demanded that President Wilson should resist the British attempt to starve the German people and should insist that American ships be allowed to carry to Germany food which Germany had often paid for. When President Wilson wrote letters denouncing German barbarity, the Allies were delighted. When he wrote letters denouncing British violations of American trade rights, all sympathizers with the Allies
I'm gonna
denounced
get
it.
Sasquatch.
Warrior Robbie had kept writing to his son, never failing to warn him against losing his head. Robbie was determined that no bud should be drawn into Europe's war.
God.
Buds were businessmen, and did not let themselves be used to pull anybody's chestnuts out of the fire. Robbie had been on the inside, and knew that every one of these nations was thinking about his own aggrandizement. Twice it happened that an employee was coming to
Go
France,
ahead.
and Robbie
Your
took trouble
magazine.
to write a long letter and have it mailed to Paris, so that
Oh,
everyone
my
would be able to
shield.
censor. Too late if they can improve your mind, and keep it
Here
clear of
comes
all this
Blaze
horror, hatred,
again.
and propaganda.
Uh-oh.
Lenny did his best to lie, but it is not pleasant to differ from everybody you meet. Sign. For several minutes Marcel worked at his painting and burned out everything he produced. Lady got up the courage to protest.
Thanks, Blaze.
To back up.
Not come on. Man after my own heart.
He was so much interested in his stepfather's development that he could learn even from his failures. Lise, Marcel. Right now.
I was ready for him.
Just a joke. He had been waiting an hour of work.
It's funny. I was ready for him to scamper and he stood still. I didn't know what to do.
He looked and laughed out loud and was so delighted that he danced around.
Such you should.
That's on the bed in the hospital. Head swamped bandages, two frightened eyes looking out. And all around him on the bed, crowded with furies of pain.
Proud wombat
so many
owner,
months.
yeah.
It happened that Mr. Robin had sent Lenny a copy of the German weekly magazine containing pictures of some of the national heroes, and Marcel had turned them into his own
That's what I mean.
a portrait in their cause. There was the state Russian officer with his lean face, sharp nose, and mark. There was Hindenburg with his shaven head and bull's neck. There was the Kaiser with his bristling mustaches. There was the professor with bushy beard and
There comes
sun
Blaze.
face.
Blaze,
It wasn't easy. The
Blaze.
different kinds of malice that Marcel had managed to pack into those faces and still keep them clean. They had to be stronger than ever. If it gave him so much pleasure, why shouldn't the family share it? So they took it up to the house. Where it turned into more games.
Oh no, he's gonna kill me.
Even Judy laughed. Then he said it ought to be
Good for
shown
you.
that Marcel
Good
said,
for you,
"Nonsense.
Blaze.
It was just a caricature. He didn't wish to be known as a
But I'm
cartoonist."
still annoyed.
But he only did when it came to Lenny's
Coming after you.
He said there was a lot of German propaganda all over the world, and why shouldn't the French use their genius for ridicule?
Coming after you, Blaze.
My
weakest
They
friend.
might have a photograph of it and send copies to their friends. They got a real photographer and had a big name and wrote on the bottom of the negative, all the pain.
How is it
Then he
that
sent one to his
Blaze
father,
gets?
and
Oh,
Archie
that's
Cossack
so
was now in charge
annoying.
of precautions against spies and saboteurs in his
How's it
father.
that Blaze got
Beauty
it?
sent
Yeah,
word to several of her
not me.
friends. And the first thing she did get a telegram from Mrs. Emily, saying that one of the
No,
big
I don't-
papers
I
in
don't-
Paris offered 200 francs for the right to reproduce the painting.
If I did think like that, I should.
The big New York newspapers offering $100 for the American rights.
That kind of
And on top
thinking,
of it, a concern which was making picture postcards asked Marcel's
thinking,
price to let
thinking.
The New York paper came out with a
It
story
ended
about
in
the teacher,
tears.
saying that he had been in an air crash, and this was his own experience. Marcel was annoyed for a while. He hated that sort of publicity. But to Beauty, it was marvelous. It set everybody to talking about her husband, and visitors came to the house again, and she had an excuse to get out her pretty clothes. She had a vision of her husband becoming a famous and highly paid magazine illustrator. But Marcel said, to hell with it, and jammed his red silk skull cap down on his head and stalked off to the studio to brood there. So Beauty had to run to him, and fall on her knees and admit that she was a cheap and silly creature, and that Marcel was to paint whatever he wanted, and didn't see a single one of the curiosity seekers they would disconnect the bell at the gate if he wished it. However, Letty managed to get his way about one thing.
Everybody's
Marcel promised not
gone.
to burn any more of his
What's
work.
what?
On
How do
this
you
point,
play
the
this
boy
game
collected
again?
historical facts from painter friends and retailed them to his stepfather. He had all Michelangelo's sketches and Leonardo's. And
That's
Rembrandt's,
okay. Give them a
so
chance
that
to
we
empty
could
their
follow their minds
magazines
and learn what they were thinking and trying. We learned from what they rejected
Super
as well as
safe.
from what they kept. So it was agreed that everything Marcel did from that time on was to be put away on shelves in the storeroom. And, furthermore, Letty might be allowed to see something now and found out no more publicity. 15. Emma and her armor. 5. Just before Christmas, Mrs. Emily Travisworth returned to Kansas and opened her winter home. She needed a rest, so she told her friends. But she didn't take it full alone. There were too many wounded French soldiers all over the city. Tens of thousands of them, and many as bad as Marcel. The casino in one small place at Datigny had been turned into a hospital. It had all sorts of public buildings throughout France. But there was never room enough, never help enough. Frenchmen, who as a rule confined their activities to their own homes, were now organizing hospitals and relief depots. And of course they were glad to have help from anyone who would give it. So it wasn't long before Mrs. Emily was agitating and organizing, making her American friends on the Riviera ashamed of wasting their time playing bridge and dancing. She told them stories about men defined with hands and feet and eyes and whatnot, and facing the problem of how to keep alive. In the end, impatient of delays, Mrs. Emily turned her own home into an institution for what was called the education teaching new occupations to men so quickly they could no longer practice their former ones. A man who had lost his right hand would learn to do something with a book, and men who had lost their legs would learn to make baskets or brooms. Mrs. Emily moved herself into what had been an age room, and filled up her whole mansion with her pupils, and when that wasn't enough,
Ow!
there were tents on her lawns.
It's Columbo.
Marcel Tittis was especially exposed to this vigorous
Columbo,
text.
please.
Won't you care
I
about
promise,
anybody's
I'll never
information?
nucleonize and
So
weaponize.
she'd give the wrong
I'll do
answer,
anything
and
you
after she
say.
made sure that Marcel
Please don't kill me. Columbo, let me, come on. Have mercy on me. Please.
As an educator, she wasn't very much, but she was the world's wonder when it came to uplifting the souls of men. Suffering had dealt keenly with her, and added a touch of mystery to her loveliness.
I would have mercy on you if you asked me. Well, you know, I'm actually, you know, truthfully, it was like that time that I didn't shoot Dolly, and she got shot because she didn't shoot me. It's like because I shot her a bunch of times, and you know, it seemed like she was mad or something. She really didn't care how many people shot her. She just got a shot at me. So when she got up to me, she's like, "Well, aren't you gonna struggle? Aren't you gonna?" She just stop.
A happy and graceful
Gotta
dancing
stop.
man whom he had picked up in these, and who had come to Vermilion Spence after him playing with the flute and snakes.
Let's move.
Here he was, falling apart back now, because he had not helped him to take out all the from the show. And surely he would never dance again, because his right leg was gone just below the hip. Instead, he was learning to carve little dancing figures out of wood, and when he was through with that form of education, he would go back at his father's farm, where there was wood in plenty, and the organization which Mrs. Emily had formed would try to sell his toys for the Christmas trade. Anne Pigeon was the same kindly attorney dreamer that Emily had, and the only satisfaction of seeing his new learning to talk to him now, and hearing her agree that he was a good creature, he bowed his head no harm to anyone in his life. Aye. Well, Mrs. Emily's bright ideas was that
Right.
no food might learn to pain.
I could still manage to get killed.
And look at the gang. Look at them, you just could never tell where you might find the chance. Why did it not be possible for Marcel to come now and then and give a lesson to these pitiful souls? Marcel was coming to care less and less for people. Even the best of them made him aware of his own condition, and it was only when he was alone and buried in his work that life was bearable to him. But he heard Beauty talking for hours at a time about Emily Chatter's
That was kind of
work, and of course
exhilarating.
this work
I'm
came
glad
close
I
to his
did
heart. He too was a mule, and a common of all the others. He couldn't teach anything, because he couldn't talk. Even Mrs. Emily had a hard time understanding him, unless Beauty sat by and said some of the words over again. But he offered to come and entertain them by making sketches on the blackboard, for example, those little German devils that seemed to amuse people. Somebody else might explain and comment on the work as he did it. So they drove up to CHNS one evening. Mrs. Emily had set up the blackboard, and had got one of her patients to do the talking, a journalist who had lost the fingers of his right hand and was learning to write with his left. He was an amusing talker, and Marcel with his skull cap and veil was a figure of mystery. He was clever and quick at sketching, and his question devils made the audience roar. The deaf ones could see them, and the blind ones could hear about them. If the lecturer missed a point, Marcel would write a word or two in the board. It wasn't long before the men were shouting what they wanted next, and Marcel would draw that. He had been at the front long enough to know the little touches that made things real to his comrades. He drew a heroic figure of the Koala. Koala means your hair, and is a symbol of your power. The Koala was a mighty fellow, and wore a red military cape high, with a depression in the round top like a saucer. And Marcel drew a buckwooden cross in a field, and hung one of those battered caps on top of it.
7,
Every man in
8.
the room knew what that meant, for he had seen thousands of them. The Koala wore a long coat, and when he was marching he buttoned at the front flaps to make room for his legs, so when you saw that, you knew he was on the march. If his face was set grimly, you knew he was going to say, "Aus les Orons," that is, "You'll have them, we'll get them." What he was going to get was the Boche. That was another word of the war. The British called him Harry, and the Yanks, when they came along, would call him Miney, and sometimes Ritzy, but to the Koala he was Le Boche, and when Marcel drew him, he made him not ugly or hateful, just stupid and discouraged, and that too seemed right to Anxious and Modus. When Marcel desired to draw something hateful, it wore a long coat to the ankles, tightly drawn in at the waist, and a monocle, and a gold bracelet, and an expression of monstrous insolence. Aye. That visit was important to the painter because he gave him a place to go. With his four devils he need never be ashamed, never humiliated. He would return now and then to entertain them. Or he would go and just talk with them, or rather, let them talk to him. One of them had been with Marcel's own regiment in the Alps Maritimes, and from him Marcel learned that his comrades had been moved to the front in the Vosges Mountains, and what had happened to them there. The men wouldn't talk to strangers about the war. It was too terrible, it would discourage people. But among themselves it was all right, and Marcel's mutilated face was a passport to all hearts. He heard about men fighting in heavy snow, with the trenches only a few yards apart, so that you could hear the enemy talking, and shout abuse and defiance at him. If you lifted your cap an inch above the parapet, it would be filled with bullets in a second or two. Shelling was incessant, day and night, and hand grenades were thrown. Only a few sentries stayed to watch, while the rest of in dugouts underground. The raid trench in the forest had been reduced to scooters, and in the post-blizzard wars, the shells were held half of the hillside. A dozen bunkers had been drilled in the course of a year. No going around at all in the daytime. Yet you could hear the church bell ringing in the village behind the lines. One of the stories was about a man who picked up an old hand organ in one of the buildings right by shells, and brought it up on rainy night to one of the cagnas, or dugouts, and stood outside in the rain playing it, and then began singing, hundreds of them all over the place, even with the shells falling around. Evie Rahim, they sang. Among other things, they learned what had happened to his mother's former chauffeur and handyman, Sergeant Pierre Husbush. He had taken part in one of those innumerable attempts that came to nothing. Line after line of men had charged across an exposed place on a hillside, and just lay where they found. There was no way to get to them. Those who were not killed at once died slowly with the Yankees they stayed all winter, and the smell of them made an invisible cloud that drifted slowly over the trenches, sometimes through the walls and sometimes through the watches. After talks like that, Marcel would go back in pain. He made a painting that he called Peter, and for a while he didn't want anybody to see it. Perhaps it was a confession of something in himself. He was so proud, so serene, and full of ardor for his beloved friend Truculti that he had ever been terrified. The truth is that this complicated arrangement of pipes and tissues that comprise a man is so fragile, so soft and easily damaged, that nature has provided an automatic impulse to protect it. There are parts of it that can hurt so abominably, and in truth you would have difficulty in naming any part that you would care to have struck by a little steel cylinder moving at the rate of half a mile per second. The Lodges had the same feeling, and the many Catholics among them carried on their persons magic formulas containing detailed specifications. May God preserve me against all manner of arms and weapons, shotgun cannon, long or short swords, knives or daggers, or carbines, halberds, or anything that cuts or pierces, against the crosses of rapiers, long and short rifles, or guns, and such like, which have been forged since the birth of Christ. against all kinds of metal, be it iron or steel, brass or lead, or wood. The poor devils lay dead on the field with these wares in their pockets. Marcel painted that in mysterious form, the upper part of a human being. You couldn't be sure whether it was man or woman. It was shrouded in a sort of dark coat, and you saw only the face, and it was only the eyes, which had a faint glow, and were staring at the horrific seas below them. The face was not distorted. The expression was something than that. It was a soul which had been acquainted with fear for a long time. And not just because of fear, but from long on, a society which never tested such things for a long time. At least, that is what Enrock Turbo said after he had looked at the picture for a long time. He said it was quite extraordinary, and certainly none of the persons who saw it ever forgot it. But Marcel put it away. He said it wasn't a picture for more than a minute until the enemy could see it too. ID. The British had failed in their efforts to take the Dardanelles, largely because they couldn't decide whether the taking was worth the cost. Now
God, that's right.
advance from Salonika, a harbor in the north of
And I
Greece.
couldn't see who it was. I was trying to see who it was.
And those beautiful islands which
Maybe I'll see on the roof like
of
today.
submarines seeking to destroy British commerce and the fructose which came heavily loaded from the Australia.
What are these guys all
The
doing
entire
up here?
Mediterranean was the scene of
It's a
hundreds of
swarm.
and they didn't get to look at little maps because they took the places and pictures of them in his eager mind. When he and Jerry went fishing, they watched every ship they presented there with
Come on,
great knowing that
help.
at any moment there might be an explosion and a pillar of black smoke. They never happened to see that, but they were
Help me, somebody.
I'm dead. Watched the sinking ship. You saw motorboats hurrying out to bring out survivors.
What can I
Up
do?
and down the coast,
I
people
don't
told
know.
stories of hospital ships sunk with all on board.
They really
Troop
got
ships
up
torpedoed,
in our.
of submarines
Yeah,
fighting,
they've taken
were sunk
over.
by a dwelling shot, or getting tangled in the chains and nets now set in front of harbors. The fighting of Gallipoli had one important consequence for them.
I don't care. Let me hit the war
The
with
hospital in Malta. He decided to spend the winter on the Riviera, where he could join her when he was able to do. He says she's in need of a rest, wrote the girl, but I think it's to get me out of the notion of nursing. She's afraid I'll get to know people outside our social circle. The family wanted a quiet place. Rosemary added, and it happened that the Baroness Sophie had a little villa on the Cap, not the one she lived in. Lenny sent a snapshot of it to the girl, and as a result her family rented the place and set a date for their arrival.
Let's try
The mother,
this.
a widowed aunt, Rosemary herself, and the father whenever the doctors and the submarines would let him. Lenny was 16 now, and old enough to know that he was interested in girls. This grave and sweet English lass had captured his imagination, and he
No.
looked back upon the River Thames and its green and pleasant land as one of his happiest memories. He had met other girls on the Riviera, and had swum and boated and danced with them, but principally they interested him because they reminded him of Rosemary. A year and a half had passed, and now she was coming, and Lenny hoped to be included in her social circle. His mother was a respectable married woman, and his stepfather had all but given his life in the war which was England's. Lenny had never met Rosemary's mother or aunt, but he hoped for success with them as in the case of the Frau Dr. Hope von zu the Beneltenburg Hill now, by the way, was among the Germans interned on the STE Marguerite, which Lenny could view from the veranda of his home. The boy had told his mother about the English girl and how much he loved her. It would have been cruel to withhold such news from Billy, who was the most interesting of subjects. She warned him not to expect too much from the English, because they were a peculiar people, which didn't bound by their own conventions. With Americans they were apt to go so far, no farther. Just now Beauty had another love affair on her hands, that of Jerry Pendleton, who clamored for advice about French girls. He was finding one of them such an odd mixture of fervor and reserve, and such a combination of mothers and aunts. It was to taste think that an American could be happy with a French wife. And would such a wife be happy in America? The situation was complicated by the fact that Jerry didn't know what he wanted to do with himself. He had come away fully determined to escape the drugstore business. He dreamed of being a newspaperman, perhaps a foreign correspondent. But when either with the life under those circumstances, Lanny's tooth, torn between his destinies, was much like Beauty having to choose between Pittsburgh and the Continentals. Lanny's lessons suffered during the discussions, but he could always go and wait inside the key. The three ladies in the room arrived, and Lanny was at the train to meet them and take them to the villa. He had the keys, and knew the place and showed it to them. He had lived on the Cap all his life, and could tell them about the shops and services and other practical matters. Also he knew about servants, innumerable relatives of these were available and the ladies had only to choose. The most exclusive English family could hardly reject the assistance of such a polite and agreeable youth. Mrs. Codley was a tall, and-faced lady from whom Nanny had learned how Rosemary would look when she was 40. But he didn't. She and her sister, tall and still thinner, were the daughters of Lord Duther, and estimated themselves accordingly. But when Lanny's more elephants called, they could not say no. When they heard the romantic story of the pair who stayed in the studio alone, never appearing in public without a veil, their deep instincts of self-sufficiency were touched. When Lanny offered to lend them several of his stepfathers, he staged a remedy around a crude
I know you're over there, Bob.
They had to admit that the habitability of their home had been increased. Rosemary was a year older than Lanny, which meant that she was now a young lady. As it happened, she was a very grand one, belonging to a set which managed to impress other people by the unlimited, to use the American slang. The youth was prepared to worship her at a distance.
That's all
But
the
they swung
action.
on. In fact, they could see them like flowing across the water in showers of glowing fire. There was a distant sound of music from the great hotel of the lovely things which they remembered from the banks of the Thames. So Lanny was moved, very timidly, to draw closer to this delightful being, and she did not seem to mind. When he gently touched her hand, she did not draw it away, and presently they resumed, quite naturally and simply, the relation they had in the old days. He put his arm around her, and after a while he kissed her, and they sat dissolved in a well-remembered kiss. But this time it did not stop at the same point. Rosemary Codley was a friend and admirer of that ardent self-project, Miss Malkins, who had so Kurt Meissner at the Regis. With the coming of the war, these redoubtable ladies had dropped their agitation, but they expected to have their demands granted before the war was over. And what were they going to do with their new freedom? That they would go into Parliament, attend the universities, and move into all the professions of things went without saying. But what would they do about love and sex and marriage? What would they do about the so-called double standard, which permitted men to have premarital sex relations without social disgrace, but denied that privilege to women? Obviously, there were two alternatives. Women could adopt the double standard, or they could demand that men conform to the single standard. It soon appeared that the latter was very difficult, whereas the former was easy. The subject was made more complex by the possibility of not following in real life. What might be pleasing to some might not be to all. In magazines, pamphlets, and books of the animalist movement, these questions were vehemently debated, and the ideas were tried out on numbers of persons, with results not always according to schedule. Rosemary's young mind was observant of these theories. First of all, she had been taught, you must be frank. You couldn't be so with the old people, of course. But young people in love, or thinking of being in love, had to be honest with each other and try to understand each other. Love had to be a give and take, each respecting the other's personality, and so on. The problems of sex had already been changed by the discovery of birth control, which was Bernard Shaw called the most revolutionary discovery of the 19th century. Since you no longer needed to have babies, the question to be considered was whether love would bring happiness to the lovers. Rosemary was blonde, with features richer than the average gentle and serene. In many ways she reminded Mandy of his mother, and perhaps that was why she had drawn him so strongly. He was a mother's boy, easily understood as a youth, and Rosemary was prepared to deal with him.
And I wanted to get her.
What they all
She
meant by
got
women's
me.
rights. Anyway, they sat
Macarena, where the girls come
arms around each other, and it seemed unavoidable that they should talk about the matters.
Barbara Ann, I want you to get rid of his
Those imparted
pencil.
ideas which she had gathered from a weekly journal called The Freedom Ring. When Lanning had listened to Kurt Meissner's expositions of German philosophy, he had a treatment of all the Kurt's wonderful dream. So now he thought that Rosemary had worked out a theory of sexual equality for herself. Of course he was deeply impressed, and at first rather frightened. But after these ideas had been discussed for 2 or 3 years, they no longer seemed so strange. The boy who had become a man within the last year began to
That
wonder
was
whether all those words about
innocent.
freedom and happiness might possibly apply to him and his lovely friend. This had an alarming effect. A wave of excitement swept over him, and his teeth began to shatter and his hands to shake uncontrollably. "What's the matter, Lenny?" asked the girl. He didn't dare to answer at first, but finally he told her, "I'm afraid maybe I'm falling in love with you." It was all as if it had never happened to
Puppy
the
de
girl before.
Figaro?
Now,
Wow.
why not, Lenny?
Water to
She asked,
wine. Wow,
gently.
they're really low
"Do you
too.
really read your mind? No, I think you are a very dear boy." So he kissed her on the lips the first time he had ever done that. They sat clasped together, and a clamor arose in them. He pressed her to
Hey
him,
Melvin,
and
what
when
that?
she submitted,
Uh-oh.
he began to fondle
He's
her more and more
Orca
intently.
Bala Kanga
He knew
on
that
Warpath
theories had
again,
told him about which
attacking
he had heard
Hunter
everybody
and
talking,
Safari.
and which had been such a
We
mystery
gotta
to his
help
thoughts.
him.
The girl stayed his trembling hands.
Hugga bugga, hugga bugga, hugga
It
bugga.
would be safe. Then she whispered, "Alan had to go to the house first and get something." So they got up and walked. Lenny found his knees shaking, which perplexed him greatly. It must be what the French novelists call La Grande Passion. He waited some distance from the house while
Hey, you,
Rosemary
Orca
went
Bala
into the
Kanga,
house.
listen.
There was
Alvin,
company
Lord of
in
the
the room,
Jungle
and
is
then
here.
she-
Listen, they want to tell you
Presently she
something.
came back,
Listen.
and they lost themselves in a secluded part of the garden, and there she taught him those things about which he had been so curious. At first this agitation was
Welcome
painful,
home.
but presently he was dissolved in a feeling of bliss, which seemed to justify the theories of the human.
On your
He
issue
was
of
happy and she was
man.
happy. Why should the vacant or book world of their elders concern itself with her
Whoa.
affairs? He eyed.
Yeah.
It wasn't long before Lanny told his mother about this affair. Impossible not to, because she asked pointed questions, and it would have been hurting her feelings to evade. Lily's reaction to the disclosure was a peculiar one. She had been what you might call a practicing feminist, but without any theories. She had had her own way about love, but always with a proper feeling that she was doing wrong. It was hard to explain, but that feeling seemed necessary. You knew it was wrong, and that made it right. But to assert that it was right was a shocking boldness. And when a girl was only 17, is she virgin? Asked Beauty, and ended with distaste. Certainly she didn't act like it. Lenny didn't know and couldn't make inquiries. Beauty couldn't altogether disclaim Rosemary, but she never got over the idea that there was something alarming about the origin of a new world that Beauty didn't understand. The mother's feeling was that her dear little boy had been seduced, and that he was much too young. She took the problem to her husband, but failed to get him excited. "The tour knows a lot more about that than you do," said the painter, and went on painting. Springtime again on the Riviera, to Lenny the most delightful he had ever known. The flesh of woman was revealed to him, and the discovery transfused everything else in his life. The world and every common sight to him did seem apparelled in celestial light, the glory and the freshness of a dream. Now for the first time he knew what music was about, poetry, and dancing, not to mention the birds and the butterflies. The flowers had the colors of Rosemary, and she had their perfume. She was through a being of magic, and when he was with her he never wanted to take his eyes from her, and when he wasn't with her he wished he was. Of course he couldn't be with her all the time, because how can people say, "You know, with that after all, in a here, cool and serene, Rosemary took charge. Then he must go on with his studying, and not make her feel that she was a bad influence. They voted and swam and played tennis. They must be with other young people, for her parents' sake. And it seemed to me even there must be some sort of pretext, a dance, a party, a sign of young people all understood that. They all had the same desires, and would stroll away in couples, casually and innocently. They protected one another, a conspiracy of the new against the old. Did Rosemary succeed in fooling her mother and friends? In those early days of the revolt of youth, the old were in a peculiar state of emotional paralysis. They didn't dare to know.
Ice
It was too
lady
awful to
to
let themselves know,
cold.
and yet, of course they did.
To cold.
They
She
were
gone.
young with fright in their eyes, and seldom dared to speak the word that they say.
She cold.
Rosemary had given her answer in Advent Sesh wanted to go out and earn her own living. Girls were nursing. They were even getting jobs in munitions factories, wearing black overalls and filling shelves with explosives. They were going out on the streets delivering to raves, calling on men to lips, pinning white feathers on those who looked as if they ought to. And the things they were reading, and left around the house, careless of who might see them. It had been prior to the outbreak of the war that Rosemary had fallen under the spell of one of those suffragettes as a teacher. It was. Still a child, with pigtails down her back, she had walked into the National Cabinet and asked concealed under her skirt, and that the arranged signal had passed into one of those notorious women who had dared bring it
I
to
know this
herself
guy,
because she was
Chris
no
Hopper.
research. And that got a crazy man who had her means of returning to the world. Something they took up as a religion, for which they were willing to die. You might put them in jail, but they were only trying to starve themselves to death. You wanted to say to the devil, and let them do it, but you
You
didn't.
better get those control points back.
The German Reichsmen had made up its collective mind
Jeez,
as they marched
man.
to win the war. They had to break through on the Western Front, and they had put the fortress
Just
of
pinned
Erzincan
down
place.
here.
This was the head of the original French defenses, the part which had not given way. The complex of fortifications
Quit
covering
getting
various
killed
hexagonal
so
banks
much.
of river use. Now that the war had been going on for a year and a half, the technique of taking such
Copy the
fortifications
figure
had become
once you
well
just
settled.
MVP.
You had to bring up enough heavy guns and pile enough ammunition behind them to use the enemy trenches to dust and rubble. Then you put down what was called the reaping barrage of shells which exploded in small
Alright,
fragments
now,
to destroy the main
Melvin
fortifications
up
around them
here.
came up after your heavy bombardment. The
Satire.
reaping barrage moved forward, just ahead of your lines of
Of
infantry,
Tarzan.
which could thus advance into
Tarzan,
comparative
of
safety
course,
and
is
take what was
racist.
left of the trenches, an operation known as Operation.
White man. Christ
The enemy would have
Lord.
line after line of trenches, and you had to repeat the same procedure and hope to break through finally and turn our position into an R of movement. To stop such an attack,
Melvin
the
says
French gunners had to be better than the
bird,
Germans,
like
and have more
John.
shells. The French airmen had to keep the
That's
street
fine.
bringing more information as to what was happening.
We're from
But more
Rome.
than anything
They had
else,
me. My
the
name
British
is sort of
quality had
white
to crawl
green
in this
red
rapid
shirt
ones,
up along
and those
this
of them who were left alive had
This
to
is
pop up
a
to
bit
the
of
right
blood.
and hide in whatever shell holes might be left and shoot enough of the advancing Germans to discourage the rest. That was all there was to it. You just had to outstay the enemy. When you had fired all your cartridges, you got more from a dead comet in the same shell hole. If the night passed and nobody brought you food, you starved. If it rained, you lay in the mud, and if the mud froze, you tried to keep your hands alive so that you could shoot. The Verdun area covered 100 square miles or so, and during the fighting it was turned into a chaos of shell craters and nothing else. Places like Fort Delmar were taken and retaken a half dozen times, and the living were fought among the dead of both sides. The main battle began in February of 1916 and lasted until July without cessation, and after that off and on for a year. The Germans lost 64 divisions, which was more than 1 million men. The French fired more than 10 million shells from field guns, and nearly 2 million from medium and heavy guns. The German Crown Prince was in command, and that was one more reason for the French wanting to win. The whole world watched and waited while the armies staggered back and forth. A breakthrough might mean the German conquest for France, and nobody knew that better than Napoleon. He invented for himself a chant, which became a sort of incantation, a spell to out the souls of men perishing from of exhaustion, who yet would kill one more enemy before dying. Azeroth fought, Azeroth fought. They sang forecast. You shall not pass. P.I.I. Such were the events some 300 miles to the north of Ladybug while he was playing with love in springtime. He couldn't keep the war from troubling his conscience, but there was nothing he could do about it, especially not so long as he was under pledge to keep neutral. He was the one person of that sort who knew. Eddie Patterson was now driving an ambulance behind the lines at Verdun, and so Sophie no longer had any motive for not hating the Germans, and she was hating him. All Whitey could say was, XCUSC me, I promised my father not to talk about the war. But we're now making small arms and ammunition in large quantities, and exclusively for the Allies. There was no way to make any for the Germans. The British blockade was too tight, and anyhow the British and French were on hand to buy everything we could produce, paying top prices on the nail. The big Wall Street banks to the British and French bonds and sold them to the American public, and Bugs got the cash.
Well, since we got the server going now, let me just
He would spend his money
do
doing it,
housekeeping
always.
stuff.
But he was a stubborn fellow, and nobody was going to get him to say that any nation of Europeans that included the British Emperor was ever right about anything. Robbie had been on the inside, and knew they were all wrong. Out of this came the first bit rift between Lanny and his
Death
girlfriend.
next seconds.
Rosemary wasn't satisfied to have him hold his tongue. She began to
Upgrade.
put him down and asked what he really thought. When he repeated his formula, she wanted to know, Pat, are you a man or a dummy? Do you have to think everything your father thinks?
No.
If I thought what my parents think, would I be here with you? Lanny was troubled, because he had taken it for granted that this delightful young woman was as gentle as she looked. But apparently a sharp tongue was part of the equipment of every animal, and first among all these rights was the right to tell her man what she thought of him. Both British and French were bitter against the Americans, because they were not taking part in the war, but just making money out of it, and at the same time making objections to the blockade. Nearly all the Americans confessed felt the same way, and were ashamed of their country. The conversation at the menu was all along that line. And while Marcel was careful not to say anything in Lanny's presence, the boy knew that Marcel blamed Robbie because he was making money out of the French and at the same time withholding his sympathy from them. The painter was eaten up with anxiety all during the Battle of Verdun. He would burst out with some expression of loathing for the Huns, and Lanny wouldn't say anything, and it would appear that a chill had fallen in the home. The relationship of stepfather and stepson is a complicated one at best, and this wasn't the best. The boy would go off and try to think out by himself the problems of the war. He would remember that Robbie had told him about the trickery of Allied diplomacy. Right now, it was being said in America that the Allies had made secret treaties dividing up the spoils of the war they had in mind.
See if there's any
Worse yet, they had promised the same territory to different peoples. Robbie would send articles about such matters to his son, finding ways to get them by the censor, and the consequence of knowing about such things was that he no longer fitted anywhere in the press. Ajax. Marcel painted a picture of the Poilu, the savior of La Patrie. He tried to put into it all his love for the men with whom he had trained and fought. When he was done, he said it wasn't good enough. He hadn't got what he wanted. But his friends thought differently. The painting was shown at the Salon in Paris, and made a hit, and was taken up and reproduced in posters. Beauty thought that her husband would get satisfaction out of that service to his country. But nothing could please him, it appeared. He didn't want to be a popular painter, and anyhow, art was futility in a time like this. So came a crisis in the affairs of this married pair. How rarely does it happen that two human creatures, with all their differences, weaknesses, moods, can get along without quarreling. Beauty was carrying her cross, in the best evangelical church fashion. She was pouring out her own redemptive love in the secrecy of her heart. But she couldn't be happy in her tragic situation, and the bitterness which she witnessed was bound to escape at some spots in her life. She couldn't restrain her annoyance at this contrary attitude of Marcel. Why should a man go to the trouble of making pictures, and then not want to have people see them, even quarrel with those who wanted a chance to admire them? Why was it necessary to say something contrary every time his work was praised? In vain did Lanny, budding young critic, try to make plain to his mother that a true artist is wrestling with a vision of something higher and better, and cannot endure to be admired for what he knows is less than his best. Out of this clash of temperaments came a terrible thing. Lanny came home one evening from his lovemaking to find his mother lying on her bed sobbing. Her husband had broached to her the idea of going back into the army. He had the crazy notion that he ought to be helping to hold the line at Verdun. He was a trained man, and France needed everyone. He was as good as ever, he insisted. He could march, and had tried long walks to make sure. He could handle them. Only thing wrong was that he was ugly, but out there in mud and powder smoke, who would care? Beauty had had a fit of hysterics and called him some bad names, an ingrate, a fool, and so on. If she meant no more to him than that, he would have to, but he would never see her again. Did it once, Marcel, but I won't do it a second time. She really meant it, so she declared to her son. She had reached the limit of endurance. If Marcel went, La Patrie could take care of him next time in some soldier's home. She said with hardness in her face that was a new thing to Lenny. One does not wrestle with duty for long periods without going back to the roots and even facial expressions of one's Puritan forefathers. But 5 minutes later, Beauty broke down. Her lips were trembling, and she was asking whether perhaps it was her impatience and lack of art sense which were making the painter dissatisfied with his love. So there was no peace in this woman's soul until midsummer, when the German attacks on the great fortress slowed up. By the time she had managed to get her man started upon another project to paint a portrait of her. It is a use that every painter makes sooner or later of the one he loves. If Marcel had intended to do any portrait, she would do it. Beauty had changed, and what Marcel saw was the woman of anguish who had prayed to his soul, the woman of pity who talked to critical soldiers and helped them to live. She put on one of her nurse's uniforms and went over to the studio and sat for hours every day. An old story to her. Marcel painted her sitting in a chair with her hands folded, and all the grief of France in her face. Easter of Mercy, he was going to call her. And Beauty didn't have to act, because of the terror in her heart. She couldn't tell what turn the next great battle might take. She could only urge Marcel to take his time and get it perfect. She wanted him to have something he really believed in so that he would stay a painter instead of a Poilu. X. Lanny's young dream of love died early in the month of May, and it wasn't a merry month for him. At that time the thoughts of English people on the Riviera turned to their lovely green island with its chilly breezes. Furthermore, it developed that Rosemary's father had to be examined by surgeons at home. He was brought to Marseille, and from there north, and Lanny never met him. Darling, we shall see each other again, said the girl. Who will come to England if we're all coming here? I'll wait for you always, said Lanny, fervently. Want you to marry me, Rosemary. She looked startled. Lanny, I don't think we can marry you. I wouldn't count on that if I were you. The boy was startled in turn. Why not? You're much too young to think about it. I don't want to marry for a long time. And wait, Rosemary. Darling, don't think about it, please. It wouldn't be fair to you. Seeing the bewilderment in his face, she added, he would make my parents so terribly unhappy if I were to marry outside our own sort of people. I bet he had trouble in finding words. Only it'd make them unhappy to know about our love. They aren't going to know about that. And it's quite a different thing. Marriage is so serious. You have children, and property settlements, and all they bother. And there'd be the question whether our children were to be Americans or English. You might want to go to America to live. And really not much of an American, Rosemary. I've never been there, and may never go. You can't be sure. And my people wouldn't be sure. They'd make an awful fuss, I know. Any English people marry Americans, argued the boy. Or to Eversham Watson I visited them, and they seemed quite happy. No, darling, it's done. And don't have your blessed feelings hurt you know I love you, and we've been so happy, and we'll be some more. But if we tie ourselves down, and get our families to arguing at all, that it would be a frightful bore. Lenny wasn't perfectly educated in modern ideas, but couldn't get the thing clear in his mind. He wanted his adored one all the time, and couldn't imagine that she might not want him. Why was she so concerned about her family in this one matter, and so indifferent, even defiant, in others? He asked her to explain it, and she tried, working to put into words things that were instinctive and unformulated. It appeared that young ladies of the English governing classes who joined the movement for equal rights wanted certain definite things, like being able to write MP after their names, and to have divorce on equal terms with men. But they didn't need to interfere with a system whereby their families governed the realm. They accepted the idea that when the time came for marriage, each should adopt some honored name with a peculiar spelling, and become the mistress of some beautiful old country house and the mother of future viscounts and barons, or at the least admirals and cabinet ministers. It may be so easy to find an upper-class Englishman, remarked the woman. You either getting killed off in this war. There will be some left, answered the girl, easily. She had only to look in the mirror to know that she had special advantages. Lenny pondered some more, and then inquired, is it because I don't take sides in the war? That's just a little bit, Lenny. It helps me to realize that we shouldn't be happy. Our ideas are so different, and our
There we
interests.
go.
Whatever happens to England, I have to be for her, and so will my
So,
children let them.
well,
Here I have to go just
we'll
so far
come
no
back.
farther. Beauty had told her son. When he parted from Rosemary,
I'm gonna try to get
announced
back
her,
on later
it
on
was with
today.
tears and sighs on both sides,
For the
in a
moment,
perfectly
I'm
clear
drop off.
understanding that he might have a sweet
Thanks
and
for
lovely mistress
tuning
for
in.
an indefinite
I
time,
hope to see you
provided that he
again.
would come where she was, and do what she asked.